Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
It's the Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
Now, Amy Markscore's Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Good morning, friends. It is the Chris and Amy Show. You heard the lady say it, and we just wanted to reiterate. We want you to be a part of our day today. With you until 1 o'clock, and glad you're with us right now, listening on the Odyssey app. Hopefully you are. It's crystal clear, sounds great. You can rewind, go back and listen to the podcast as well. AUDACY, 98.7 FM, 1120 AM. Of course, we are on Twitter and Instagram and all those good social media platforms. It is at Chris Amy KMOX if you want to follow us. Our phone number, 314-436-7900. Our voicemail line is 944-1120.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everybody will be talking about.
The Trump hush money trial resuming today. Cross-examination of Michael Cohen, one of the prosecution's witnesses. Also, the contempt of Congress proceedings against Merrick Garland are going to go ahead. It's a good thing we've got Major Garrett on the show today.
And the radio voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, has been named Kansan of the Year.
Kansan of the Year.
And he joins us next hour, which is fitting because the NFL schedule was just released.
That is accurate. The Cardinals last night, they failed to sweep the series against the Angels. City SC losing their game at home. So there's a lot coming up on the show. Matt Pauley will join us. We'll talk a little sports with him. As I mentioned, Major Garrett, Mitch Holthus. We might have a surprise for you. Maybe, who knows, along the way today. So it again is good to have you with us. And I can talk a decent amount.
Okay.
I'm not like Kevin Wheeler, where he could talk for 6 or 7 straight hours without stopping to, go to the bathroom or anything, right?
You're right. If probably every radio host has had some bad dream at least once where you show up, you're in front of the microphone, you don't know what you're going to talk about, and you have like 8 hours to fill. That would be a nightmare for everyone except for Kevin Wheeler, who can talk at length without blinking an eye.
So I can't do that. There are people apparently in the Missouri government, though, in the Missouri legislature.
Jefferson City, baby.
Who are very capable of it. See, there was a 50-hour filibuster that came to an end yesterday, probably in the afternoon. I believe it was either during our show or right after our show. And they were filibustering a vote. They did not want this vote to take place that would make constitutional amendments more difficult to enact in the state. So Democrats were mostly on board with this filibuster. It was brought to our attention that
by Total Information PM Michael Calhoun, I'm so happy that he pointed this out to us and that he gets the show, because one of my favorite shows on television, it's on Netflix actually, is called I Think You Should Leave. And it's getting more in the mainstream than it was. It was sort of a niche humor kind of thing, but Tim Robinson, who's the creator and writer, is becoming more and more popular. And one of the legislators on the floor, Senator Rizzo, John Rizzo. Yep. And another one as well. I got to get the other name, because I found out about the love for I Think You Should Leave from Senator Rizzo and another senator from Total Information AM. And I was driving and listening to KMOX in the car. 98.7 FM is what I was listening to. And I was laughing out loud because these senators were describing scenes. And I can't remember the other name of the senator because those two specific ones weren't mentioned in the Post-Dispatch write-up or the Riverfront Times, because it was a 50-hour filibuster, but I was dying.
So as you know, a filibuster, if you remember when the vote on sports betting was hopefully going to happen last year, Bill Eigel, among others, filibustered, and he was reading from Ronald Reagan's book. So if you're filibustering on the floor, you can talk about whatever you want
Harry Potter's been used, Dr.
Harry Potter.
Seuss. I know one person, I won't mention, said that he would just make up old court cases that didn't exist to go, I remember this court, Smith versus the state of Missouri. And
right.
it didn't
You
exist.
can talk nonsense.
Yeah.
You can talk about whatever you want to, because the whole point of a filibuster is to kill time. So that you don't have to actually hold the vote. They were yesterday on the floor discussing I Think You Should Leave sketches.
Lauren Arthur and John Rizzo talked about their favorite sketches from the Tim Robinson Netflix show, I Think You Should Leave.
Yeah, the one that I always remember is the one where he does the pay it forward in the drive-through line. Have you seen that one? And kind of, I've not seen a lot of them, but I have seen those ones, and that it's the one where. So for those that are listening, he basically is in a drive-through line, and somebody does the pay it forward thing, and they paid for his, coffee or whatever. And then what he does is he immediately tries to get back in line behind somebody. Now that he knows the pay it forward thing is happening, he cuts another woman off, and he just orders, was it 55 tacos, 47 burritos, like this gigantic order, hoping that the person in front of him is going to pay for this mountain of food. And the guy gets the guy goes to quote unquote, he goes to pay it forward, so to speak. And of course, it's this ridiculous amount of food, and the number is incredibly high, the price of all the stuff that he had just ordered. And the guy gets out of his car, and he knocks on the window of the person we were speaking of, and he's like, I'm not doing it, not paying for it. It's like, you have to pay it forward. He's like, not doing it, not going to happen.
So that's Michael describing what happened, and then John Rizzo, the minority Senate leader, talking about this particular sketch from I Think You Should Leave, which is incredible.
Hi, can I take your order?
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta, 55 peppers, and 155 taters.
Okay, that'll be $680.
Okay.
So that's it. So he was describing that sketch, which is, look, I don't know how I feel about filibustering in general.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. I know I honestly, I think filibusters are necessary, and they either work for you
it's the
or
only
against
recourse
you.
for the minority party.
It is.
And I get that.
And I will say this even in U.S. Congress. So yes, this is insane that this is Jefferson City. These are your Missouri legislators. However, this happens in the U.S. Congress, and whether I have audio clips of Biden praising the filibuster and condemning it, of Barack Obama praising the filibuster and condemning it. People praise it or condemn it depending on whether or not it suits their purposes at the time.
I guess if you're going to filibuster, just make sure it's entertaining. And the subject matter certainly is. I think that show is tremendous. And listening to a Missouri state senator giddy over the sketch, John Rizzo loves I Think You Should Leave, which makes me kind of want to meet John Rizzo, and we can talk about Tim Robinson. But that's just, it's very funny to me, even though it's kind of upholding the whole legislative process. So I'm like, you're talking about Biden and Obama and whoever else either criticizing or embracing the filibuster. I'm the exact same way, because sometimes I think it is necessary, but sometimes I kind of hate that it's there. It's just one of those tools that I don't know if I like it or not.
Well, when it was famously disposed of, when it came to appointing federal judges, that really worked. It was Democrats who eschewed the filibuster when it came to appointing federal judges. And that really came back to bite them when Trump was president and appointed, I think, like 55 judges, 55. 55 circuit court judges.
55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pigs.
It is a really funny sketch, too. Just so you know, if you have not seen it, I highly recommend. It's on Netflix. And he does. That's exactly what happens in it. He orders food, and then he says, I think somebody paid for his food. And then he decided he was going to pay for the guy behind him. And then he drove around the building like 40 miles an hour to get back into line so that he could order, because the guy in front of him would have to pay it forward to him. That's just the rule, right?
Yeah.
If somebody pays it forward to you, you have to do it to the person behind, which I don't even know if I agree with, but that's how people see it. and he was hoping to get $600 worth of food for free.
Well, maybe we need to follow up with the Senate Minority Leader, John Rizzo, about the filibuster and how
We
that
absolutely
went.
should.
There are some very bizarre stories. When you talk to representatives or senators who have been involved in a massive filibuster, and that was a record-breaking filibuster.
50 hours.
50 hours. Even like bathroom breaks. Like you hear crazy stories about Gatorade bottles and just bizarre things going on. And so maybe that might explain some things of like, man, why aren't they getting anything done? Well, that could be one of the reasons. And it was Harry Reid back in the day,
Harry
the Democrats
Reid.
who got rid of the filibuster
From Nevada.
When it came to federal judges. But there you go, 50 hours. They did it. I think you could leave. Kim, leave.
I think you should leave.
I was conjugating all the verbs.
I
think you should have left.
What a great show.
I think you will have been leaving.
Okay, now you're confusing me. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. We got an update yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So we should tell you about
a litigious update.
A litigious update.
That's the clue.
We'll tell you about it next on KMOX.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
Ask most contractors about a kitchen or bath remodel, and you'll get similar answers.
So how long?
Yeah, about 2 months.
Longer than that.
3 days.
Longer than... Wait a minute, what?
3 days.
3 days?
3 days or less. With 3-day kitchen and bath, you get a new kitchen or bath finished with top quality products and craftsmanship, all in 3 days or less guaranteed.
No eating out because my kitchen is in shambles for a month?
Nope.
No borrowing the neighbor's bathroom for weeks on end?
You'll have a whole new look in 3 days or less.
And those other guys?
They want our web address.
Hey, what's your web address?
See?
A lot of people will.
Just visit 3daykitchen.com. 3daykitchen.com.
3 days?
3 days. Yeah, isn't that something? 3-day kitchen and bath. Simply amazing.
3-day kitchen and bath.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's the Memorial Day sale at Miller Furniture and Mattress now through May 28th.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. Save big now with 5 to 50% off our everyday low sale price on in-stock items.
Plus, save on custom orders of Flex Steel, Smith Brothers, Amish-made furniture, and more. With 12 months, 0% financing, quality has never been more affordable.
Check out our new Amish-made outdoor furniture selection, available at all 4 stores and on display in Fairview Heights.
Come see why we were voted Retailer of the Year by the Home Furnishings Association.
And we're a great place to shop for mattresses, too. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic or get a free adjustable base with the purchase of a Chatham & Wells Queen set. They start at just $19.99.
Don't miss the Memorial Day sale at Miller Furniture, now through May 28th.
Visit any of our 4 locations in Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, or Ellisville to save 5 to 50% off our low sale prices. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold for Newbold Toyota and Newbold BMW, a family-owned dealership group that has been around for 50 years as a Toyota dealer and 25 years in O'Fallon, Illinois. So come see us. That's Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill.
La 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 la.
Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Real issues that impact your life. No polarizing politics, just relatable conversations. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Remember yesterday we were talking about the most litigious man in America?
Michael Buffer.
In sports, at least.
I
He
don't
is
know.
the-
He might be the most litigious in America.
There's probably a business owner with many millions or billions of dollars that sues people a lot or is involved in lawsuits. I don't know. There's probably somebody like that in this country. Michael Buffer will sue you if you use his catchphrase, which is the
call to action.
Call to action prior to a boxing match.
Yep. Where he's
you have heard it
entreating.
before.
Yes, he's entreating everybody to prepare to do some physical activity.
Let's get ready to blah, 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 right? Like, there's a thing.
Yeah, but not like let's get ready for church.
Right.
Because that's what my mom would always,
That's
say
what
on
she would
Sunday
say.
morning. Yeah.
So we can't utter it.
Mm-mm.
We can't use it. We'll get sued. He's very litigious.
And why would we want to use it? Well, yesterday, remember when current President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump were in a tit-for-tat, threatening to debate one another,
Which they
maybe
agreed
challenging
to.
the other, yes. And Joe Biden said, make my day. And Donald Trump was very excited to do so. He suggested they debate in a large venue
Because he wants a crowd.
for entertainment, for excitement
Because
purposes.
that's what
Yeah.
he thrives off of his crowds.
But anyway, we've got two debates, one in June, one in September on CNN, moderated by Jake Tapper
and
Dana.
ABC.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, I don't know who's moderating the ABC one. I actually realized just Jake Tapper and Dana Bash from CNN are moderating the first one.
By the way, she should not be able to pronounce it Dana.
Oh, Dana Bash.
I don't like that. Dana Bash. Come on. Anyway, so there are two debates that have been scheduled, and I presume both of them, I know for sure the CNN studio debate will be no audience. I believe the ABC debate is the exact same thing, which is what the Biden campaign wanted. Doesn't really matter why they want it. I agree with them because I don't think there should be an audience for debates any longer. It's not 1820. We have television. We can see what's going on. You don't need to have a crowd. But in that tweet or Truth Social post, the former president used that line. So we were talking yesterday prior to the show. Can we even say it? Even though we're quoting directly a presidential candidate who was addressing the current president, that's newsworthy. Can we use it in a news setting? So we can't still.
We can't. We escalated it through corporate to our general counsel. They said not worth it. Now, we did note CBS National said something very similar. They didn't say the exact phrase, but close enough that you could still get sued. It was a version of the phrase that we're not allowed to say. But they also have the money to pay the fine.
Sure.
If they have to pay the fine, maybe they decided it's worth it. We'll take our chances. But it's crazy how much money Michael Buffer makes just by suing anyone and everyone who uses that phrase. He's got an algorithm that can catch it, so you will be caught. You will be caught. It's not that someone has to be listening. The debate. Are you looking forward to this debate? Are you looking forward to it in a way that you look at an accident?
I don't like debates at all, honestly.
But this one,
and I feel
know
like
that, but just this specifically, Biden and Trump.
I feel like I can't possibly know more about either candidate than I already know.
I don't think it's that, though. I think it's how depressed are you going to be? Are you afraid that you're going to see the frailty of one highlighted or the insanity of another highlighted? Do you know what
No, I'm not really. I know what they are. I know what both people are. There's enough evidence and there's enough data on both of them that I don't think we need debates. And I'm not really concerned about what one's going to say or how the other is going to look. That doesn't really, it will not move the needle for me. And I believe most people, it might be enough on the margins to move the needle for them. There might be people who still are not sure what they're going to do, that it could. I honestly don't think the debates are going to affect much.
See,
I really don't.
I don't think it's a needle mover necessarily. Maybe there's still that persuadable percentage, but it's not so much the needle moving. It's me just feeling depressed. I'd almost rather stick my head in a like dig a hole in the sand, stick my head in the sand, and just not pay attention to it, versus looking at these two older gentlemen debate and think, all right, these are our candidates for president. Forget all the other potential candidates we could have had, like, a Nikki Haley, which the Republican Party is insane to not nominate her. The Republican people, Republican voters, I should say, are insane when the Democratic Party is, Joe Biden's unpopular. He is. Kamala Harris, even more unpopular. Things are not either great or perceived as great. And this would be the moment for Republicans to say, here's a young, sane person who's got a vision for the future and isn't crazy and isn't feeble. Nikki Haley. But instead, we went with a psychopath. So now we've got a psychopath and then a very frail, older president. That concerns me that I'll be depressed. However, Donald Trump made a mistake. He said Joe Biden can't string two sentences together. But here's the thing. He can.
Yes, he can.
And we've seen him, which means now that Trump and the Republicans have set the bar so low that all Biden has to do is string two sentences together and he will look better than people expected. They did the same thing for the State of the Union address.
Well, as I've told
I hope he doesn't fall over. And he was fine.
As I've told you, I think that it's more as it pertains to Biden. Yes, he's old. Yes, he's not what he used to be. I think that's clear. But I think the magnitude of how bad he actually is more narrative than reality. I do. And I think that it's such a good thing for the Republican Party for them to seize upon it, and they've done it because they know it's working. They know it works with the public. They know that if they say, this guy, look how old he is. Look at him. Oh, he's stumbling. Look at him. And you know what? It happened yesterday, and the media goes right along with it. TMZ, he was at a thing with veterans or military, and he very slightly stumbled going up a step, and they made it a whole story.
Yeah.
It was like a stumble that I would take.
Well, a stumble
I'm in my 40s,
yeah,
but
the
they made a whole
stuff.
they made a whole thing about it. Like, oh, look, here's Joe Biden, and he didn't fall. He kind of stumbled a little bit. We all literally do that all the time.
Well, right, and that's why that's silly.
I think yes, he's old, and he's not the same as he was 10 years ago. That's very, very clear. I just think it's all overblown.
I think some of it is. Some of it isn't.
Absolutely.
But you can't, the physical stumbling, we all do that.
Yeah. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Our guy, Major Garrett. He's back, baby. We'll talk about everything happening in Washington with Major when we come back on KMOX.
Well, what you don't want to do is you don't want to stumble because you didn't see a step just ahead of you or maybe a slick patch. And so you should see the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Berry. Go ahead and give them a call, 314-966-5000, or visit youridoc.com. You know, we say they're the doctors because they have seen several hundred physicians, which is more than any other practice in the area. And I also really like what Brad Young says. He's our legal analyst here at KMOX. He said he's also the lawyers' doctors, and that's pretty impressive too. We were talking of being litigious. So you have the lawyers' doctors, the doctors' doctors. I see them. I see Dr. Birdie. Ron sees Dr. Malhotra, and I highly recommend you give them a call. Your yearly eye exam is covered by most insurance plans. So no reason not to call 314-966-5000, 314-966-5000, youridoc.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up. get this. 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Join host Steve All Saturday mornings at 10 right here on KMOX.
Lombardo Homes welcomes you to Saxony Ridge in Wentzville, a sprawling new home community located off Point Prairie Road, west of Highway Z. Saxony Ridge offers custom new construction homes on 3+ acre home sites in the Francis Howell School District. This private and tranquil community offers spacious home sites surrounded by an abundance of beautiful woodlands and open space. Saxony Ridge homeowners will enjoy the close proximity to New Melly, featuring local restaurants, grocers, and numerous recreational opportunities. For more information, visit lombardohomes.com.
At 10:30, we've got rain and 67 degrees downtown at the Arch. Prosecutor star witnesses back in the hot seat at Donald Trump's New York hush money trial. Defense lawyers are continuing to try to chip away at Michael Cohen's crucial testimony implicating the ex-president. Cohen's credibility could determine the presumptive Republican presidential nominee's fate in the case. The investigation is underway to determine why a fuel barge crashed into the only bridge connecting Galveston, Texas to nearby Pelican Island. The bridge was shut down in both directions for hours before one lane opened up so stranded drivers could leave. CBS's Tom Hansen tells us about previous problems with the causeway.
The Pelican Island Causeway was rated as being in poor condition last year by the Federal Highway Administration, and data from the U.S. Coast Guard shows 5 prior incidents of moving vessels hitting the bridge since 2002, causing a total of $235,000 in property damage.
Israel's military push into Rafah has crippled aid operations in southern Gaza. Cindy McCain, head of the World Food Program, says relief workers face daily obstacles.
Rafah crossing's closed. Kerem Shalom is closed. It's sporadic as to when the others are open or whether they're not. And then once we sometimes do get our convoys in, we'll get to a checkpoint. They'll hold us for 6 or 7 hours. Daylight comes and we're looted.
McCain says 500 relief trucks a day are needed to provide adequate aid to the Palestinians. Only a handful of trucks have passed through southern Gaza since Israel's limited offensive in Rafah began.
The Cardinals' winning streak comes to an end as they lose to the Angels last night by a 7-2 score in Anaheim. They still take 2 of 3 in the series. Lance Lynn makes the start, goes 5 innings, allowing 4 runs on 8 hits. All 4 of those runs came in the first inning before he settled in after that. Paul Goldschmidt did hit a home run, his 4th of the year. Today is an off day for the Cardinals. Tomorrow they open up a home series against the Red Sox. Kyle Gibson will make the start, 7:15 first pitch. Our coverage will begin at 6:20. The Redbird Report is sponsored by Aloha Pools USA. Win big with a pool or spa at alohapoolsusa.com. Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
We've got a crash in the right lane of 6440 going west. That's at Concourse Drive, Hampton. Around Forest Park, 6440 west there. There's a crash in the right lane. We've also got 2-vehicle crash they've just cleared on 70 East at Hanley. There's a 3-vehicle crash on 55 going north of Virginia. That's got the left lane blocked. There's some debris on 44 going west at Southwest Avenue. That's got the left 2 lanes blocked. 2-vehicle crash 44 East at Jameson. That's got the right lane closed there. 2-vehicle crash 70 East at Hanley. That has been cleared again. 3-vehicle crash 44 going west at Lewis Road. The left 2 lanes are closed there. And on 44, we've got a slowdown approaching Eureka going west as well. And the forecast from AccuWeather, it's going to be a rainy afternoon, couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm with a high of 72. For tonight, heavy thunderstorm this evening, passing shower late, low 62 overnight. For tomorrow, clouds, breaks of sun with a shower in spots in the morning and a stray afternoon thunderstorm, high temperature of 76. Right now, rain and 67 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes, announcing our newest West County community in Creve Coeur. Duvер Estates, located just north of Ladue Road on Mason Road. We're featuring our luxurious designer series homes, starting in the upper 800s. A private enclave of only 12 home sites, so hurry while they last. Visit McKelveyHomes.com. That's McKelveyHomes.com.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Dive into all things Cardinals on Cardinals Conversations, your go-to location for exclusive content from KMOX. Catch it on the Odyssey app or your favorite podcast platform. Stay connected with your team. Cardinals Conversations, where the Redbird talk never stops.
As always, there is a lot happening in Washington, D.C. or Washington, D.C. related. That's why we have Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent for CBS News, visiting with us every Thursday after the 10:30 news here on KMOX. So we go to the Quiver River Electric guest line today. Major Garrett, author of The Big Truth, Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie, and the host of two podcasts, The Takeout and Agent of Betrayal. Mr. Garrett is with us this morning on KMOX. How's it going, Major?
I'm well. Good morning.
So, hey, it's you're well out of jury duty now, so you've had time to settle back into your job. What feels more hectic? Does Washington feel more hectic than what was going on in jury duty?
So I have a very good answer to that. So yesterday was my very last day of grand jury duty. There was something called a callback day, which I have only been recently acquainted with. We basically had a week or two off, and then we came back to clean up anything that was still pending. So that was yesterday. It lasted until about 1:30. When I walked in to the U.S. Attorney's Office, my appointed location where I'd been for the 5 weeks previous, I saw about 8:30 on my phone, Biden makes this bid for the debates. I go in, have to put my phones in the safe, can't see anything, come out at 1:30. Holy cow, they've agreed to everything. Like, whoa.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised that they got to that conclusion so quickly? Two debates.
Quick is in the eye of the news consumer, and I was one of them yesterday, in the sense that everything happened in rapid succession, but then it was quite clear that they had, meaning the two campaigns, negotiated this over the better part of a week to two to iron out the details. So yes, that progression of things, which reflected the negotiations that nobody knew about for 2 weeks, yes, I was stunned. I mean, I really was. I'm like, whoa. We went from, there's probably not going to be any debates, to wait, there's two on the calendar? Now, having said that, I would circle these dates on your calendar in pencil, not in ink. I am still uncertain that these are going to happen. Just because volatility, I think, is going to be the function of this campaign. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be unpredictable and herky-jerky and stop and start, and this is certainly unconventional. I know both campaigns are saying that they're going to be there on June 27th in Atlanta, and they've made this public commitment. But the arrival 1 hour later of a social media post from Trump saying, and I've committed to the third debate. Well, there is no third debate because the two campaigns negotiated two debates. So that introduction of a third debate and I've already accepted it, tells me that there's going to be some fluctuation in this. And until it happens, until the lights go up and it happens on June 27th, I'm going to be skeptical. I am deeply skeptical that the September 10th one will happen. The June 27th one, I would get rated probably 75% probability. I still think there's a 25% chance it doesn't happen. I'm not nearly as confident that the September 10th announced date debate will happen.
Pencil, not pen. If only I had known this yesterday. All right. Well,
dang it.
Major Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced yesterday the release of an additional $2 billion in military aid funding to Ukraine. We have focused so much on Israel right now. I mean, and rightfully so. But where does the U.S. stand? Where does the Ukraine stand in that conflict right now?
So I'm glad you asked, Amy. I'm in my office here in Washington, and one of the best national security correspondents now or ever, David Martin, I'm happy to say, is a CBS colleague of mine. And he just sent across an email that is now part of our reporting of the day, that 3 senior defense officials just came out of a lengthy briefing about the battle space in Ukraine, and it is the consensus of U.S. military strategists that Russia and its troops are not in a position to break through at Kharkiv or anywhere else that they hoped to break through in this spring season of fighting, and that reinforcements are arriving to the Ukrainians. They are putting them in the battlefield rapidly as they can. This doesn't mean that Ukraine is prepared to take over any new territory, but Ukraine is better positioned, and importantly, Russia is not as poised to break through anywhere. So that means the stalemate continues. That's not necessarily good news, but it is better news than Russia continuing advancements on any part of the battle space.
Major, back in Washington here, there was a okay. So there's the situation that's happening with the Department of Justice and Merrick Garland and Jim Jordan trying to move forward with contempt of Congress charges against him. They want the recording of Joe Biden's conversation with special counsel Robert Hur. Biden exercised executive privilege to not let those go. So what exactly is happening there, and what will be the fallout from all of it?
So I don't think this materially affects what House Republicans intend to do with Merrick Garland and hold him in contempt. I think that's progressing forward and would have, regardless of the obtaining of this tape. Executive privilege, if we recall, was something that was invoked considerably during the Trump administration and all sorts of congressional oversight wrangling with Democrats when they ran the House. It's a longstanding dispute between the executive branch and Congress about what is and isn't fair game in oversight. And this is one of those things where the White House has asserted it, said, no, this is part of private governing conversations, and you don't have access to it. I think House Republicans will go ahead and hold Merrick Garland in contempt, just as they impeached Alejandro Mayorkas, the Secretary of Homeland Security, because these are issues House Republicans have identified as of importance, and their disagreements are so profound that they want to bring them to the floor and go through the motions. They are not materially important in any other context but politics. They're not going to stop the Attorney General from doing what the Attorney General does, but they are House Republicans' way of putting their disapproval on the record and in a very sharply and visible political way.
Major, moving back to New York and Trump's hush money trial, we've seen Stormy Daniels testify, Michael Cohen, and I want to get your thoughts on it because we've seen a lot of things that seem very immoral, but the court is not concerned with the immoral, but it is concerned with the illegal, and it can be kind of weird watching that trial go forth. What are your thoughts on all of that and how strong the case is?
So there has been a media shorthanding of this as a hush money trial. But as the prosecution made clear in the opening statements, it isn't a hush money trial. It's an election interference trial, and it's a complicated means by which you get there legally. You have business records that were falsified. That's a misdemeanor. How do you make it a felony? Well, it's in furtherance of another felony, whether it's a violation of state election law in New York or federal election law. We're not quite sure. The prosecution has made it clear it can apply either or both. We don't know because they haven't summarized their case yet. So it's an election interference case. Former President Trump says, A, I didn't have sex with Stormy Daniels. Her testimony says, no, we did, and it was pretty descriptive about what happened. Whether you're comfortable with that or not, that's part of the trial record now. Also, the former president says the country knew everything it needed to know about this. This has already been politically adjudicated. Well, the prosecution's argument is no, it wasn't. After the Access Hollywood tape and the repellent comments from Donald Trump about grabbing women in their private parts and being able to get away with it if you're a celebrity, his campaign, I was covering it hour by hour back in 2016, was in something approaching a free fall, so much so that Donald Trump did something he almost never does. He apologized in a video. It was recalled then, and I think we can recall it now, as almost like a hostage video. He apologized because his campaign was in something of a free fall. And it is an open question. We will never know the answer to it. But if the Stormy Daniels story had broken after that, what condition would his campaign have been in? I don't know. You don't know. But it's an open question. The prosecutors say the country had a right to know that information. And the only reason it didn't is because of this false approach to bury a story, kill it in advance, kill it with money, and then deceive everyone involved about what that money was for and how it got from point A to point B. That's what this case is about. It's not about morality, as you said. Not remotely about morality, but it is about this mechanism by which to catch and kill and suppress a story for innately political purposes in furtherance of election interference. That's what the prosecution has alleged. The great question, I think, separate from all of that is, will a jury say, yes, that's a crime, yes, former President Trump is guilty, and therefore must be sent to prison over it? That's the only remedy available to the United States of America, and that's to jail a former president over this particular set of facts. I've always believed, and I will say until we have a verdict, that that is an extraordinarily high bar. It's a high bar beyond evidence. It's a high bar beyond reasonable doubt, because that's not just the only question. And you can't find 12 jurors in New York or any other jurisdiction to say, oh, all you have to do is prove it, and I'm not going to have any ambivalence about putting a former president in prison. Because that's what the central question is. Is this crime so bad that the only remedy is to jail a former president? I've always believed, and will be until we have a verdict, that that's an incredibly high bar.
Major, we could talk to you for an hour about this and other things involving Washington, but we got to go. Before we do, though,
that's awfully nice of you to say.
Right?
That's
honestly,
nice of you.
Probably not much longer than an hour, but
Yeah,
we
1
could
hour
probably
is-
get
that's-
there. Yeah,
That's it. That's it. Actually, to be honest,
a couple of breaks.
I got
With a
about
couple of-
55 minutes in me on that.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once we get to 60, I'm checking out.
Mhm.
Who's on the takeout this week?
So there is a Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter for the Wall Street Journal named Brody Mullins. He and his brother Luke Mullins, who's also won a Pulitzer Prize, by the way, have just come out with a new book called Wolves of K Street. It is the 40-year encyclopedic history of lobbying in Washington, D.C., and how it's still here, how the swamp hasn't been drained, and it continues to influence American politics and American life. So Brody Mullins, his brother Luke, on the takeout this weekend.
Until we meet again next Thursday, Major. Thank you.
And I thank you.
Good day.
God, what good day, sir.
Good day.
Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, Major Garrett visiting with us here on KMOX.
Good day.
He's the
Thank
you. He is the absolute best. The Takeout Podcast and Agent of Betrayal, and his book is The Big Truth: Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie. We think you should listen to those podcasts. They're very good. You can get them on the Odyssey app, where you can hear this show live and those podcasts when the show's over. Chris and Amy on KMOX.
If you're thinking about selling your home, I'm sure there are two things that you want: certainty and the most money, right? This is Debbie Monterey, and if you've been listening to me for some time, you know that the agent I trust is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis's real estate expert. Here's why she should be your first call when looking for an agent. Gloria does not make empty promises. She provides written guarantees. What does that mean for you? Certainty. Certainty isn't the only thing you want. You also want the most money. Gloria is able to get her home sellers more money than the average agent because she already has the buyers. This is why Gloria will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she will buy it. To get your guaranteed price, call St. Louis's real estate expert, Gloria Liu, at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
I'm Listening reminds you that you are not alone, and that talk saves lives. And now it's even easier to reach out and talk to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline with 988. 988 is just like 911 for emergency services. When you call or text 988 from any phone, you will be connected directly with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. They can get you the help you need anytime, anywhere. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away.
Sponsored by Compass Health Network. We're here for you.
Paid for by government.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $20 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 50 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-574-6468, and you are guaranteed a $20 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-574-6468. Call now, and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-574-6468 now to secure your $20 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-574-6468.
Whatever electrical needs you have, repair, service, replacement, call on Reinhold Electric. A live person will answer the phone call and they'll set you up with an electrician. If you need an estimate, absolutely free from Reinhold Electric, you will actually talk to a live estimator. No job is too big or too small for Reinhold Electric. Reinhold Electric, for all your electrical needs in residential, commercial, and industrial, call 314-631-1158. That's 314-631-1158. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
What does it take to run an 85-year-old third-generation company? This is Debbie Monterey. Join me for the Business of Family Business this Saturday at 2 p.m. when we chat with Jason Shupp of Ferguson Roofing. My co-host Kevin Short and I find out more about growth and reputation, how to navigate change, and a very unique unicorn ownership situation. It's the Business of Family Business, sponsored by Clayton Capital Partners, this Saturday at 2 p.m. only on KMOX. When is shopping for a car a luxury experience? When you step in the doors of Genesis of St. Charles and their brand new showroom, the first standalone Genesis showroom in the entire state of Missouri. They're proud to show it off, and when you walk through the doors, you'll understand why. And then you'll get behind the wheel of a brand new Genesis sedan or SUV, and you'll understand what all the buzz is about. Stop in today at Genesis of St. Charles, a quarter-mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall Drive off 70, or online at genesisofstcharles.com.
Where opinions collide, laughter resonates, and the unexpected is always invited. The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Did you see that thing? I can't believe it. Something is obviously wrong.
This is a joke, right?
Are you freaking kidding me? No way!
You gotta be kidding me. Don't feel bad. There's no way you could have known that.
Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy?
Hey, Ranj, did you see this?
I don't know.
Caitlin Clark's
Yes.
WNBA debut. They didn't win, obviously. And
She had a rough game.
Well, everyone said a rough game, but they said if you score 20 points with 3 assists in a rough
It
game.
was the turnovers. She had quite a
Okay.
few turnovers.
Okay. But it did draw an average of 2.1 million viewers, making it the most watched game in WNBA's history across ESPN platforms.
That is I mean, it's not unusual for her. In the last few months, I think we've figured out pretty quickly that she's a draw. That the games that she participated in outdid some NBA games, outdid a lot of the NCAA tournament on the men's side, which usually is the one that does really well. She became an attraction, and I think she will remain an attraction. The question is just how much does she help the rest of the league? Because the game that was on after her did not do nearly as well.
Right. Hey, I have a quick one more. Did you see this? Did you see King Charles's official portrait? I'm going to show you. And folks, I know this is a radio show. You need to see this. The official portrait of King Charles.
What is that?
It's like his face, and it's like they painted red over his whole outfit.
Everything.
And then red over the background. So it kind of looks like
a floating head.
Almost like he's on fire, and it's a floating head in a red backdrop. I'm holding it up on our streaming platform on YouTube.
Yeah, you should watch
It's
this.
very bizarre. But if you haven't seen it yet, please Google King Charles official portrait, and then you can text in 314-436-7900 and tell us what you think the purpose of this is.
Did you see, Amy, that almost 100 Red Lobsters are closing around the country?
I did.
Yeah, 99.
I did.
In fact, 99, and the seafood restaurant the chain is about to file a Chapter 11 bankruptcy in Florida. So apparently, what put them over the top?
I know what it is.
All you can eat shrimp.
Yep.
Which they thought was going to be a really good idea. And I'll tell you something. I love, there are only two sorts of all you can eat situations I like: shrimp and crab legs. It's really just seafood, I guess. I don't really need an all you can eat buffet of anything else, but the crab legs, oh boy. Doctor, I could put those away.
See, I'm not a crab leg shrimp person or lobster.
I love it.
All you could eat cereal where all the different cereals are there, and you could make little bowls of 10 different cereals. I would do that.
That is over crab legs?
Yes.
You're nuts. Absolutely crazy.
I'm a cheap date. That's what they call it.
No kidding.
Let's get some Frosted Flakes. Leave the lobster at home.
Let's see what the Kansan of the Year thinks. Mitch Holthus is the radio play-by-play voice here on KMOX of the Kansas City Chiefs, and he joins us when we come back right here on 1120 and 98.7 FM.
Well, STL Fence Works, I think they're the fence company of Missouri. That's what I would call them. If Mitch Holthus is the Kansan of the Year, because STL Fence Works has been serving the St. Louis, the St. Charles, the Franklin, and Warren counties for over 50 years, stretching all the way back to 1971 when Russ and Carolyn Long opened the company. And now their son, Sean Timothy Long, he runs the company. And I know we've talked a lot about American-made products just like in the past and on the show. Well, STL Fence Works is proud and excited to install American-made aluminum and vinyl fence products as well as American-made decking. For instance, STL Fence Works has teamed up with Jareth Manufacturing. They invented the aluminum fence industry over 50 years ago. Their product is wholly sourced and manufactured right here in the U.S., and STL Fence Works is the third largest Jareth customer in the world. Also, STL Fence Works leads the way in maintenance-free decking. They're the #1 distributor of Wolf Cellular PVC decking in the Midwest, and that is proudly manufactured right here in the U.S. And maintenance-free, that's the key word, plus a lifetime warranty that surpasses anything else in the industry. Visit them today. Tell them I sent you, stlfenceworks.com.
Pete Acker Portrayal.
Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. In 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected.
Ethos fast and easy online term life insurance up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan, along with Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center. Doctor, when should somebody typically get a hearing evaluation?
You know, Charlie, the simple answer to that would be at age 65. However, there are some contributing factors that might make people more at risk for hearing loss. Some people with a history of noise exposure or a family history of hearing loss, or those suffering from tinnitus. Those people should come in to have their hearing evaluated at age 60. And of course, anyone noticing difficulty hearing or ringing in the ears should come in as soon as they notice these changes.
That's the word from Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center with 3 convenient locations: Florissant, St. Peter's, and Creve Coeur. Schedule an appointment today by calling 636-441-7470 or the Audiology Center STL.com.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Johnny Rabbit. Isn't cash in the bank better than scrap in the drawer? Midwest Money Company is buying your valuables. Midwest Money Company is buying gold, silver, coins, currency, diamonds, plus gold and silver jewelry. Call Midwest Money Company, 4810770. That's 4810770. Or stop by Midwest Money, 5900 Hampton for a free appraisal.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Hey guys, it's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Give my friends at Zero Res a call, 314-474-2020. Schedule today and get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129 and take $50 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure you mention the DGS when you go to ZeroResSTL.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news, KMOX.
11:01. We've got drizzle and 67 degrees downtown at the Arch. Our top story this hour: consumer prices rose in line with expectations last month, renewing hopes among investors and consumers alike that an interest rate cut is on the horizon. More from Bankrate economic analyst Mark Hamrick.
It's somewhat rare to see the interests of investors, consumers, businesses, and even central bankers all align. But that's the situation as the April Consumer Price Index came in largely in line with expectations. It's boosting hopes that the Federal Reserve could cut interest rates later this year. Officials have said they need to gain greater confidence that inflation is edging closer to their 2% target before they can seriously consider a reduction in their benchmark interest rate.
The Supreme Court has rejected a conservative challenge to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
The Consumer Agency was created in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis to enforce a number of consumer finance laws. But industry groups representing payday lenders argued it was unconstitutional because of how Congress set up its funding structure. In a 7-2 ruling today by Justice Clarence Thomas, joined by the court's 3 liberal justices, the court sided with the Biden administration, holding the Constitution's text, history, and how it's operated in practice all support how Congress funded the consumer agency. Jan Crawford, CBS News, Washington.
The White House is blocking the release of audio recordings from President Biden's interview with the special counsel in the classified documents case.
2 Republican-controlled committees on Capitol Hill want to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress for refusing to turn over recordings from a special counsel's investigation. The president has asserted executive privilege to stop the release of the recordings after the Attorney General called the effort just another one of a series of unprecedented and unfounded attacks.
Look, the only thing I can do is continue to do the right thing. I will protect this building
and its people.
Lindy Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
A man has been arrested and charged with making terrorist threats against a St. Louis County Police Department.
According to a probable cause statement on Friday last week, 53-year-old Frank Banks of St. Louis was pulled over and issued a number of citations. Hours later, police responded to a call for trespassing at a liquor store where they found Banks once again. Banks proceeded to threaten to kill responding officers and their family members. On Saturday, Banks called the Pagedale Police Department multiple times, threatening to shoot up the department. On Monday, Banks showed up in person to the Pagedale Police Department and has been arrested. Banks is charged with 2 counts of making a terrorist threat and is being held on a $50,000 cash-only bond. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The United Football League has announced when tickets will go on sale for the championship game,
which takes place June 16th. At the Dome at America's Center. They'll go on sale to the general public Thursday, May 23rd, beginning at 9 a.m. Battlehawks season ticket holders will be able to enjoy a special pre-sale Tuesday, May 21st. The Battlehawks currently tied for first in the XFL Conference at 5-2. They can clinch a playoff spot this Sunday against the DC Defenders. I'm Joe Pott, KMOX Sports.
The KMOX Business Desk. Can you afford to cut back?
The number of Americans voluntarily working part-time hit a record high this year, thanks in part to women, particularly mothers, benefiting from the pandemic-driven rise in flexible work arrangements. A record share of women ages 25 to 54 are now participating in the workforce, and the rate among women with a child under 5 surged to nearly 70% in March, according to an analysis by the Brookings Institution. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel is up 97 points to 40,005. We've got some debris on 44 West at Southwest Avenue. The left 2 lanes are closed. 3-vehicle crash on 55 going north before Virginia. That's got the left lane closed. Also a crash on 55 north at Revis Barracks. That's got traffic just getting by in the right lane. And looking at the camera, there is a major backup still 44 going west approaching Eureka because of a crash at Lewis Road. 3 vehicles involved. MoDOT says left lane closed. Looking at the camera, see an ambulance, a fire truck, looks like maybe a motorcycle might be involved. Multiple vehicles are involved, but it looks like 2 lanes are closed, and just the far left lane is getting through there. So be careful. A lot of emergency responders are out on the pavement on 44 around Lewis Road, so take caution in that area. There's some road work on 370 going east at 141. That's got the right lane closed. There, a disabled vehicle 270 east at Elizabeth. That's got the right lane closed.
Mostly cloudy this afternoon. Look for a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, especially early, high 72. Rather cloudy tonight. A heavy thunderstorm in spots early, then a shower late, low 62. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Right now, some drizzle. It's 67 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Your home of the Cardinals.
Arnado swings and hits it deep to left field. That ball is out of here.
The Billikens.
Jumper. Yes! Billikens win!
The Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
We are America's sports voice, KMOX.
7-7 tie. Chiefs have 3rd down and 3 at the Eagle 4 with an empty backfield momentarily. Here comes McKinnon in motion. Pass near side. Todd Kelsey. Touchdown!
Near side touchdown! Kansas City! Travis Kelsey from Patrick Mahomes.
As you know, KMOX is the St. Louis home of the Kansas City Chiefs, and their schedule released yesterday. The NFL schedule for all teams released yesterday. And earlier in the week, the Kansas Society of Washington, D.C. announced the 2024 Kansan of the Year, and it happens to be that man's voice you just heard. Mitch Holthus, who is the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, has been there for a long time, has called, I don't know, it seems like a million Super Bowls now. And Mitch is with us on KMOX. Good morning, Mitch. How are you?
Good morning. Awesome to be on with you guys. And yeah, if I was in Iowa, I don't think I'd stand a chance. I think Caitlin Clark could beat me by 40. And and I love the state of Missouri, but you know, you go with what you got. It's the old Sesame Street skit. One of these things doesn't belong. When you look at General Eisenhower and General Myers and Gosh, Amelia Earhart. You're like, Mitch Holtis? How did he sneak in there? Must have been a down year. But no, I'm blessed and humbled and honored. Thanks for saying it. And we're getting ready to try to make history here in the Chiefs Kingdom.
And the banquet will happen. The official banquet's going to happen in July on the 9th, where you'll be formally celebrated. You must be looking forward to it.
Yeah. I am very much. It'll be in Washington, D.C. And you guys, what I appreciate about this, and it's a state I love. I mean, I made 3 career changes and never left the state. But the night I was inducted humbly into the Missouri Broadcasters Hall of Fame, I mentioned all of the work that I've done in Missouri, from, border to border and side to side, and proud of that as well. But it'll be awesome. It'll be in Washington, D.C. right before training camp. And so, yeah, it's a pretty cool deal.
Did Bob Dole win Kansan of the Year? Do you think? I can't remember.
Yes, he did.
He did. Okay.
Yeah.
So
he edged me out in overtime a couple years back.
Yeah.
So this has been, this has been a long time coming. Yeah, you can when you find the website and the list, you're going, okay, yes, Bob Dole is on that list.
That's really great.
You and Bob, you can start telling stories about you and Bob Dole now.
Yep. When I grew up in Smith Center, Kansas, which is on the Kansas-Nebraska border, 40th parallel line, home of the Range Cabin, where the famous song was written, center of the 48 states, sorry, Alaska and Hawaii, stand down, and then great high school football. But if you go due south of Smith Center about an hour and a half on US 281, you'll run right into Russell, Kansas, home of the aforementioned Senator Bob Dole.
So, Mitch, you must be very excited about the upcoming season. Yeah. I know that it's old hat now because the Chiefs win the Super Bowl every year, it feels like. So does it just feel going into every year when you've got that guy as your quarterback that you're an automatic Super Bowl contender?
Even more than that, what you're saying, well, wait a minute, where's he going with this? It is the mindset of this team and this franchise right now. So let's just back up the truck here a second. No team has had a harder schedule than the Chiefs over the last 5 years. And to win back-to-back, which I mentioned at the end of the game on your air, for the first time in 6,944 days, there is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion. So that puts it in historical perspective of nearly 2 decades. Now, fast forward to this moment, no team, the great Steelers of the past, the Cowboys, all those Patriot teams, no team has ever won it 3 years in a row, back to back to back, in a league that is so incredibly competitive and is set up for teams not to repeat. But the mindset here is I think, even more important than the fact that you've got these unicorn players and a unicorn coach in Andy Reid. The mindset here, and I will tell you this, every day, they're on the field right now doing some OTA practicing. Every day, there's this almost unspoken vibe of we're doing this. We're going for it. And that is not something that's fake. It's something that's very real. Within seconds of us winning Super Bowl 58, and our 65 TPT crew, our in-house production crew, captured it, Patrick Mahomes, within seconds of winning that game, is up near the stage, and he sees Chris Jones, who is going to be the most notable free agent in the offseason. He said, Chris, you're not going anywhere. We're going for 3 in a row. Now, he said that, you guys, probably within 15 to 20 minutes of just winning Super Bowl 58. That's the mindset that exists here, along with some incredible talent.
And it's so difficult, as you mentioned, to win a championship because it's not just about being good on paper. You have to have so many things go your way. You have to have unicorn players. You have to have players who have career seasons. So going for that 3rd in a row, what needs to stay the same and what needs to change?
It's a phenomenal question because the NFL does not stay static. It's always moving. And it's always evolving. And there's 31 teams in this league that aren't exactly enthralled with what we're doing, but that's okay. Now, one thing that has happened, there's a lot of untold stories here, you guys, about this team. And one of them is the impact of the 2022 rookie class on defense. 8 defensive players and special teams players that played in Super Bowl 57. That set an all-time NFL record. Well, they now have taken roles of going to the next level, and not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, taking on leadership roles of going into their 3rd season. And this group of guys is 43-0 in the playoffs. Trent McDuffie, George Karlaftis, Brian Cook, Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson. Those guys, so to answer your question, have to jump up even another level. Then the younger guys, like this rookie class of 2024, whether it's Xavier Worthy, the wide receiver we got from Texas, fastest dude ever in the combine, or it's Kingsley Suama'atia at left tackle, or it's the great fourth-round picks we got in Jaden Hicks and also Jared Worthy at a safety and a tight end. And then there's like our St. Louisans. I think of Turk Wharton, who played at Missouri S&T. He's the only guy ever from Missouri S&T to play in the NFL. Turk has fashioned himself a very good career, but Turk becomes an exhibit of a guy you must have when you're in the second contract of an uber quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, who's going to take up 20 to 23 to 25% of your salary cap. Now, I don't know what KMOX is like, but I'm sure somebody's getting 25% of the revenue. Maybe you guys.
Well,
but the point is, here's my point. The other 75%, you better hit it. And a guy like Turk Wharton, a proud St. Louisan, it fits that category. So to answer your question, everybody has to take another jump up, whether you're brand new in the league or you've been around the league a while.
Mitch Holthus is the radio play-by-play voice of the Kansas City Chiefs and is with us. And, I feel like we can't spend enough time talking about Patrick Mahomes because of how good he is. And this is a Hall of Fame player already, I think. And when you look at quarterback play from around the league, and it's going to start, your season is going to start, the regular season, on the 5th. It is a September 5th, Thursday night game against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. And you look at some of these really good young quarterbacks. How much has that position changed in just the last 10 to 15 years?
Man, you guys are on fire with these questions because that's another undertold story, because really it has been since Patrick has kind of entered the league that the imagination, the mental acumen, and then doing crazy things physically at the quarterback position has increased exponentially. But Patrick has led that charge, and every team in the league is looking for the next Patrick Mahomes. Now, numerically here, I'm going to give you empirically, he is the best quarterback in NFL history in his first 6 years as a starter in every metric. And the biggest one, of course, is winning. He's the winningest quarterback ever in his first 6 years as a starter of any quarterback, including Tom Brady. And then to be 15-3 in the playoffs in that span is amazing. But what teams have to find is the emotional maturity and the mental connectivity, if that's even a couple words I can use, where he elevates our whole team. Like his impact on our hallways every day, whether it's work ethic or encouragement or challenging, is really remarkable. And it's an untold story. We see all of the physical gifts he's got, but it's really, to me, even more so the mental and emotional capabilities of this guy that take us to another stratosphere. And he's tough, but he's engaging. He makes everybody's working. Coach doesn't have to say a thing. Pat says it, and everybody will follow. So he's a very unique player and person at that position. Now the rest of the league is trying to find it. But that quarterback position has evolved so crazy and dramatically in just the last 5 years that you guys are onto something.
Yeah, it's really interesting and fun to watch the depth of the talent and the character on this team, because any team can win when everything's clicking and they're having good days. But the Chiefs were able to win on bad days last season. I think we saw that when even they weren't playing their best football, they were still able to win. And I wondered going into this next season if we're going to see maybe a glimpse of both days when they absolutely dominate and days when the depth of their skill is able to carry them through.
And again, that mental toughness carried him through as well. And again, you guys, I'm going to have you follow me around when I do these national shows. Listen to their questions. These are the pertinent ones. You guys are missing it when I ask about other, superfluous stuff. You guys are dead on.
I think you're buttering us up. That's what I think.
No.
For a letdown.
I do a lot of these, and I'm like, who are these guys, man? Something good in the oatmeal. All right. So
it's the Bob Dole question.
Bob Dole. Yeah. But hear me out on this.
Yeah.
Last year, and again, these are metrics. These are looking in empirical data. It was the toughest run by any team ever to win a Super Bowl. First of all, there's a 17th game. Tom Brady never had to encounter that in a year he won the Super Bowl. Okay. And the 17th game is against another great team from the NFC. And I mean, you're not playing like those SEC games in November where you're playing. I don't want to be disrespectful to Tennessee, Chattanooga, but you're not getting those games. You're getting another superpower that you have to play in the 17th game. Last year, the path was a -28 wind chill home game against a offensively powerful Dolphin team, and then only to ride in to the belly of the beast to play Buffalo, who had acetylene torches and pitchforks waiting for us. And everybody goes, Patrick Mahomes has never won a road playoff game. He's never played a road playoff game. I go, Super Bowl 55 kind of felt like that in Tampa during COVID. But still, he wins that game. The Chiefs win that game on toughness and grit and grime. That wasn't Pat throwing for 400 yards. What does that get us? Oh, you get to ride into the mouth of the dragon next week because you're going to play Baltimore, the aforementioned Lamar Jackson. And they're waiting for us with everything they got to throw at us. We win that game only to play San Francisco, who was thought to be the most complete team in 40 years in the NFL, and to come from 10 points behind to win that game. That's my answer to you, because that is what we are taking in, and to reboot and to update every app we got to get ready to try to do that again. It will be incredibly difficult, but this is a team that's built on scar tissue and muscle mass to take it on again, to do something that's never been done in the history of the league. And that goes back to my point about 3 paragraphs ago. Every day for these guys, every day, it's almost unwritten or unspoken, they're on point to do this and to do something that's never been done by any team ever.
Mitch Holthus, we love talking with you. We love talking football. We congratulate you again on becoming the Kansan of the Year for 2024. And before we let you go, do you have a Bob Dole impression that you can do or no?
I have to work on it. It wouldn't
work
be very
on it.
good.
Work on it, and then we'll visit with you in a few months.
That's awesome. Congrats. Kansan of the Year.
Thank you. And I know people in Missouri are going, that don't mean nothing to me, or Illinois. They're over there going, I don't know, Kansas. Nope, that's okay. I'll take it and run with it. So even if it's a down year, but yeah, me and Bob, we'll get together. Might be a different locale. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you don't want to do that just yet. You don't want to do that just yet.
Yeah, okay. All right.
This is
Mitch.
we've made a terrible mistake.
We're looking. We're looking forward to the season. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, man. That's like best questions ever.
That's right.
So yeah, we'll stay in tune. I tried to get Sikeston, Missouri,
Yeah.
person of the year, but Jack Watkins edged me out in overtime.
Jack Watkins at Missouri Valley Conference.
You know Jack? Yes. And then I tried to, on the beauty pageant circuit, you try to win. I didn't get Miss Columbia, so I'm going to go get Miss Springfield, right?
There
you get to Miss Missouri.
See
so
what
I
you
went
can
to
do.
Columbia. I didn't get that either. Jenny Watkins beat me out because she's like Rockbridge Bruin, so I lose that one. So I go, I better go to Kansas, see if I can scrape something out. And I got it. So I might be in Miss Missouri this year. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
best
Sikeston's
of
the
luck.
home of the throwed rolls.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lambert's Cafe.
Yes. Love it. Oh,
Boy, this guy should be the Missourian of the Year.
Hey, I'm going to be in Kansas City in a couple weeks for the historic Hospital Hill Half Marathon. It's famous here, even in St. Louis. So, Kansas City.
Ooh. Heartbreak Hill, girl. Get warmed up.
Oh, I'm training.
Ooh. Yes.
Thank you, Mitch.
All right. See you guys.
Mitch Holthus, radio play-by-play voice of the Chiefs. Again, September 5th is the opener. We will have it here on KMOX. They take on the Ravens.
If you have been looking for a sign to replace your windows, this is it. This is it. Renewal by Andersen, the full service replacement window division of Andersen. Their parent company, Renewal by Andersen's parent company, Andersen, has been building quality windows and doors for more than 120 years. And they have spent nearly 30 years researching and developing their new Fibrix material before they installed it in a home. Now, Fibrix material offers the look and feel of wood without the maintenance. There's no scraping or painting needed. Fibrix material is 2 times stronger than vinyl, and it won't bend. Now, Renewal by Andersen, it's not the cheapest window. They're the most affordable because inferior vinyl windows, you'll have to replace them again. That's an investment of more time and more money. But Acclaim Windows by Renewal by Andersen are built for homeowners who take pride in their homes, want to do the project once and never worry about it again. And right now you can save $279 on every window, $729 on every patio door, 0 payments and 0 interest for 18 months. 314-720-9200. Call 314-720-9200.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you need the best. Onder Law. Hurt on the job? Call Onder Law today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Hey guys, it's Dave and Rachel from The Dave Glover Show.
So Smart Mouth is the only mouth rinse in the world that has a chemical reaction that makes sure that your bad breath is gone for 12 hours at a time, which means 24 hours a day, 0 bad breath.
Yeah, all you have to do is rinse twice and you are covered for 24 hours. That means you never have bad breath. Plus, there's a product to fit whatever your needs are. To learn more, go to their website, smartmouth.com/Glover. And while you're there, you can get a coupon for $2.50 off.
1 in 4 people surveyed by Bankrate.com say they're literally losing sleep because of worries that they may have not saved enough to retire. If you're ready to get serious about planning for your financial future, you could start by listening to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All of the All Financial Group.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different. We're not here to sell you anything. If you want assistance, we can also help you at that point.
Tune in Saturday mornings at 10 right here on KMOX.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock, masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Paid for by government.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $20 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 50 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-574-6468, and you are guaranteed a $20 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-574-6468. Call now, and you will receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-574-6468 now to secure your $20 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-574-6468.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark scores because life is too short for boring radio. Let the excitement begin.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. We were just talking to the Chiefs play-by-play guy, Mitch Holthus, Kansan of the Year. He mentioned Xavier Worthy, their wide receiver they drafted, got his car stolen in Kansas City at his apartment building where he lives. It was apparently a professional job with professional criminals. Car stolen. He's okay, though.
Oh, that's good.
That's not good for him. We'll talk to Matt Pauley. We'll talk some birds. Give you the birds when we come back. Chris and Amy on KMOX.
All right. Summer's just right around the corner, so it's still not too late at all to be proactive on your air conditioning system. One, to make sure it's ready to go. And two, if you were thinking about replacing your system last year or the year before, still good time, good pricing, 0% on the equipment without the price increase yet. that's coming here taking an effect. So if you're like to be proactive, call me. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. That number is 314-293-2600. Again, very easy. Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Or the website, bartinman.com. Now that is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Wait a little longer. Great. You may have just increased your lifetime income by tens of thousands of dollars. That's how Social Security can work for you. The longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Kyle Jones and Matt Allgaier and the team at Fire Capital Management, formerly Heisey Advisory Group, can show you the options and help make the right decisions for you and your situation. Call them today, 314-328-4400. You spent decades paying in, optimize what comes out. Kyle Jones and Matt Allgaier and the Fire Capital Management team can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. Call now, 314-328-4400. That's 314-328-4400. Firm is not affiliated with the U.S. government. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Listen to every MLB game live.
In the deep left center field, it is high, it is far, it is God.
Stream minor league affiliates.
The Midwest League home run leader.
And watch the best baseball highlights and look-ins on MLB Big Inning. MLB At Bat is your all-in-one live baseball subscription for only $3.99 per month.
Deep left field, it's gonna go. Alvarez ties the game.
Subscribe to At Bat within the MLB app today. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
At 11:30, clouds and 67 downtown at the Arch. Looking for a job?
The job market looks to be still stable. Last week, new applications for unemployment benefits retreated by 10,000, although at 220,000, they were still a bit higher than economists in a Bloomberg survey had expected. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
The investigation is underway to determine why a fuel barge crashed into the only bridge connecting Galveston, Texas to a nearby island. More from CBS's Tom Hansen.
Officials say the barge has a capacity of 30,000 barrels of fuel. A large trail of oil was seen emanating from the vessel. Barge owner Martin Midstream Partners later said the leak was no longer an issue.
The House of Representatives set to vote on a Republican-led bill to force President Biden to send withheld military aid to Israel. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise spoke this morning.
They will defend themselves. They have a right to defend themselves, and they're going to have our support in that right to self-defense. We will have Israel's back, and we're going to see who else does.
The Biden administration had held up delivery of some weapons in an effort to deter a full-scale Israeli offensive in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Great news on 44. They have cleared that 3-vehicle crash that was on 44 West at Lewis Road. Looking at the cameras, traffic seems to be flowing smoothly through there around the curve. We've also got some road work on 370 East at 141. The right lane is closed, and 370 East at 270 West. There's also the left lane closed there. 2-vehicle crash on 55 North at Rivas Barracks. 2 lanes closed there. This afternoon, a couple showers and a thunderstorm with a high of 72 for tonight. Heavy thunderstorm this evening. A passing shower late. Overnight low 62 for tomorrow. Clouds, breaks of sun, shower in the morning, and a straight afternoon thunderstorm. High tomorrow 76. Right now cloudy 67 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Broadcasting from the Underlaw Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Lombardo Homes welcomes you to Saxony Ridge in Wentzville, a sprawling new home community located off Point Prairie Road, west of Highway Z. Saxony Ridge offers custom new construction homes on 3+ acre home sites in the Francis Howell School District. This private and tranquil community offers spacious home sites surrounded by an abundance of beautiful woodlands and open space. Saxony Ridge homeowners will enjoy the close proximity to New Melly, featuring local restaurants, grocers, and numerous recreational opportunities. For more information, visit lombardohomes.com.
Schedule your free tree inspection from Gamma Tree Experts now. I'm Tim Gamma. Our certified arborist and horticulturist are ready to meet you in preparation of the coming season. Winter is always hard on a lot of trees here in St. Louis. If you have a tree that you're really concerned about, let us come take a look at it for free. I'm Tim Gamma. Give me a call at 725-6159. That's 314-725-6159. Your trees deserve the best care from Gamma Tree Experts.
What does it take to run an 85-year-old third-generation company? This is Debbie Monterey. Join me for the Business of Family Business this Saturday at 2 p.m. when we chat with Jason Shupp of Ferguson Roofing. My co-host Kevin Short and I find out more about growth and reputation, how to navigate change, and a very unique unicorn ownership situation. It's the Business of Family Business, sponsored by Clayton Capital Partners, this Saturday at 2 p.m. only on KMOX.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA-MCO.
Following Friday night's Cardinals-Red Sox game. It's live at Lowe's. Join Mike Claiborne and Chip Carey for baseball talk and special guest Mike Matheny. It's live at Lowe's on your home of the St. Louis Cardinals, KMOX.
Hi, I'm Paul Goldschmidt. I'm Cardinals outfielder Lars Nootbaar.
I'm Woodson Contreras. Now, Chris and Amy give you the birds.
I'm Adam Wainwright, and you're listening to the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Here's Estevez from the belt. The pitch. Arenado hits a ground ball up the middle of the infield, played by the second baseman who throws him out, and this ball game has come to an end. Harris throws out Arenado, and the Angels salvage a game in the three-game series, winning tonight 7-2.
Go, Paulie!
Paulie's a great name. Watch your mouth, Paulie.
Go, Paulie!
Listen, Paulie, you want to buy this car, you know?
Want me to get you beer, Paulie?
Come on, Paul, why don't you screw your head on right?
What'd you do for Paulie? Anything? Me, Paulie, I was responsible!
And this is coming straight from the heart, Paulie.
Paulie, we're here because of you.
This Cardinals report brought to you by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated RennerDoorSTL.com. Cardinals dropped the finale of the series against the Angels last night. Off day today. They've got baseball at home. A long homestand opens up at Busch Stadium tomorrow night. Matt Pauley is with us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. Good morning. I almost said good afternoon. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning. It's almost afternoon. We're 24 minutes short of the afternoon.
Yeah, we're getting there, man. Yeah. So, 2 of 3 against the Angels. You'll take that. It's a series win. You'd like to see them get the sweep, especially against a team like Anaheim, which has been struggling this year. So the road trip's over. There was a lot that transpired during the road trip. So if you look back on those games, what do you think?
Yeah, I do kind of lament the fact that they don't win the game yesterday, because not only do you sweep a series, you have a winning road trip with that, and it kind of makes everything else that happened look a little bit better, because you've been, the difference between 4-3 and 3-4 road trip. You want to win, you want to be above 500 on the road. So they were unable to do that. I think the team is in a better spot right now than they were 3 games into the road trip, where we were talking about is John Mozeliak and Oliver Marmol still going to be in charge of this team. Things got a little bit better there against the Angels. There's still work to do. I mean, their record is their record. It's not very good. They're still somewhat buried in the NL Central, but I think it's fair to feel moderately better about the team right now than you did going into the series finale against Milwaukee.
Yeah, and in the game, or going into the game yesterday, we were talking about the fact they had produced a lot of offense over the previous few games, and that's the thing that's been lacking. Last night, we see again, they have more difficulty scoring runs. They got the 9 hits, but they had difficulty pushing runs across. So do you think they are closer to what they've been most of the season, or are they closer to what we saw in the 3 or 4 games prior to last night?
That's a really good question.
That's right.
I think this team, congratulations.
I get one a show.
I still believe in this team offensively. I think there's good pieces, and I think they're going to come. They're eventually going to. Their numbers at the end of the year are going to be fine. but I from a group perspective, I still have a hard time completely believing and completely dismissing what had happened leading into the Angels series. The numbers yesterday, they were 1 for 10 yesterday with runners in scoring position. They left 11 on. Even some of these games in the wins, they're hitting with runners in scoring position weren't great. They did just happen to come up with a couple big hits, but a 3 for 13 day with runners in scoring position, you might win that game, but that's not especially good, right? So I like the fact that they've scored 9 or more. They've accumulated 9 or more hits. I believe it's now 5 straight games. That's a really good sign for this team. But man, they got to get this hitting with runners in scoring position thing figured out.
Yeah, they are one of the worst teams in baseball at that. One of the guys who's actually been good at it is Nolan Arenado. I think he's about it. If you look at the lineup in terms of being able to get a hit with runners in scoring position, do you believe that this is an individual hitter's problem that just happens to be most of them? Or is it a philosophical problem team-wide? Why do you think they're having such trouble with that particular thing, driving in runs when runs are on the base paths to be had?
Yeah, I do think the organization, and they started doing this a little bit after last season, I do think it's valuable to them to take a step back and look at all their organizational philosophies and all the way that things are taught and the way they go about things. That's a fair thing to say. John Mozeliak in the offseason talked about that a little bit, and specifically talking about the way they develop pitching. But I think everything needs to sort of be looked at. So the fact that they do struggle with runners in scoring position, why is that? And your question about, is this just a bunch of guys who happen to be slumping at the exact same time? I don't think it's that. I think it's too much of a coincidence for it to be that. But at the same time, they all seem to be coming out of it at the same time, outside of like Nolan Gorman, who is still really continuing to struggle. So I think it's good for the organization to look inward and try to figure out what they're doing or not doing that's leading to these things. If there can be, that's why I think the presence of a Chaim Bloom in the organization is important, because he's somebody from outside the organization. Right now, most people who have leadership roles and strong voices with the team are people who kind of came up with the Cardinals. It's important every once in a while to get somebody from outside the organization to take a look at what you're doing. And I do hope those conversations are being had. I'm not smart enough to sit here and tell you that they're all slumping for this reason, but I am smart enough to tell you that I'm hopeful that there are a lot of conversations going on where the organization is continuing to look at and dissect the way they do things.
You touched on something there that is, I think, worthy of discussion, and that is what the Cardinals seem to do, and they're not the only organization that does this. I get the sense, though, that they are near the top of the teams in baseball that are inclined to do it this way, where people who are on the coaching staff from top to bottom, minor leagues all the way up through, or run the organization, have kind of already been around the organization in some capacity, almost like we got to bring a Cardinal. A former Cardinal has to come back to do this job. A former Cardinal has to be the first base coach or the bench coach or whatever it is. It seems like they're more inclined to go that route than most teams. Why do you think that's important to them?
Well, I think, people sometimes are critical of that side of it. And my response to that is always, look how good they were for a really long amount of time. There was now some, like the Houston Astros have been good. And, at 1 year after they won the World Series, they fired their GM. So some teams don't do it. But for the most part, the Cardinals have had this incredible sustained run of success, and they just kind of kept doing things the way they've done them because they had that much success. And it wasn't until last season, and we can argue about their postseason success in the years leading into next year, but from a big picture standpoint, the team was continuing to win a lot of games. The team was continuing to get into the postseason. If you're doing things your way and you feel very confident in the way you do things, why would you change anything? And I think that's where the Cardinals were. And then all of a sudden, that started to become a bit of a house of cards, and no pun intended. And they saw it all kind of fall apart last year. But I think that's where it begins. The fact that they've had such a long run of success and they just want to keep doing things the way they've done them. You do that with the people who have been around.
Yeah, and I guess that makes sense. But now, as you said, they've sort of reached this point where maybe looking outward is not the worst thing in the world because something is not working. Whether it's a personnel, whether it's talent evaluation, talent development, whatever it is, something right now isn't right. And I know that if you knew the answer, how to fix it, they might hire you to do that job for them. But what? I don't know. What do you think it is? If somebody said, Matt Pauley, tell us what you think our problem is, what would you say?
I think that the rest of the industry has advanced and they've kind of kept just doing things the way that they've done them. I spent parts of 7 seasons covering the Brewers, and I watched an organization that was as good as any organization out there, specifically to pitching, but overall helping players become the best version of themselves. And they did that with good people, but they also did that with technology. And they also did that with by knowing what data to look like and how to apply that to players. I heard from players all the time that that organization allowed them to become better. And I think we see the same thing in places like Tampa and Atlanta and the Dodgers. Those are organizations that have very much invested into the infrastructure and have very much are as current as you can be in using data and technology and things like that. And at one point, the Cardinals were that team. I continue to go back to the point when they made the decision to move on from Walt Jocketty. They did that because they wanted to modernize the baseball operation. But at some point, they're not as modern as other teams. So I think it is important at some point in time to go look at those things that you're doing and those resources that are out there and see what you can add to help, because again, specifically to like the Rays and the Brewers, those are teams that do not have very high payrolls, and they continue to really outperform the amount of money that they are spending on their major league roster. The Cardinals spend a perfectly fine amount of time on their roster. I know some people want them to spend more. That's not the real issue. It's allowing the players on your big league roster, it's developing players, things like that, to perform at the highest level. And I would be talking to people. I mentioned those four organizations. I'd be talking to people from those spots, saying what do they do that you can bring into St. Louis?
Matt, before we let you go, there is, I believe, one of your post game texters has reached out to the show, and I want to read this to you. This texter says, "My God, he is such a honk. The Cardinals have been above 500 in a terrible division for quite a while that has gotten them to the playoffs at times. I think for the money that fans spend and the numbers of fans that go through the gates at the stadium, it's okay for them to demand a better product and a legitimate chance at a World Series." What do you think about that?
Honk. Like, that's funny to you guys?
Yeah, it's so funny to me because I used to get those texts.
I get them every night, and I get the phone calls. It's what I deal with on an every single night basis. And with other than the name calling in there,
you're a honk. And I think we're just going to leave it at that, Matt.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Matt's a honk.
You know what? Pajewski produced that whole thing with like my last name over and over. Next time we can just do a bunch of honking noises.
Yeah. Add a couple of honks in there. Thanks. Tomorrow, the Cardinals Red Sox at Busch Stadium, 6:20 pregame with our guy Matt. 7:15 first
Matt,
pitch.
the honk, Pauly.
Yep. Yeah. So, thanks, buddy.
You got Sports Open Line tonight, 6 to 8. Be tuned in.
Yeah, 6 to 8 o'clock tonight. Matt Pauley, Sports Open Line.
Pauly, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Matt Pauley, the honk. Our sports honk. That's what he is now.
Wow.
Matt Pauley, our sports honk here on KMOX.
Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. And if you have had somebody build a fence or a deck or something for you that was kind of on the cheap, You know what I mean when I say that Chesterfield Fence and Deck is a true value, because they're not going to be your cheapest bid, but they're going to be the best quality project that's going to last for years to come. So you don't have to chase somebody down the next season and say, hey, this is splintering and warping. No, you are going to have an amazing patio, pergola, deck, fence, gate, whatever they install for you, it will be top notch. If you have ideas, please bring it to them, or they do free project design, free in-home estimates, or feel free to stop by Chesterfield Fence and Deck's extensive showroom to really get an idea of all the things that they can do for you. You can also do financing with them. And if you mention me, Debbie Monterey, they'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing. It's Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best. Find them online at chesterfieldfence.com.
Witness the story of a love affair that rocked two empires with Handel's opera Julius Caesar, running June 9th through 28th at Opera Theater of St. Louis. When Caesar arrives in Alexandria in pursuit of a political rival, the last thing he expects is to fall for an Egyptian princess. But when Cleopatra sets her mind to something, there's no standing in her way. Experience this steamy political thriller for yourself. Tickets start at just $25. Learn more at experienceopera.org.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Maureen talks about her experience using 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
I had for years been dreaming how I wanted my kitchen down to every detail. When 3-Day Kitchen and Bath came, they were thrilled to death that I knew exactly what I wanted. They came back with a drawing and it was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. They came in, they did their thing, and it turned out as perfect as I imagined it. The quality of it is beautiful. It's amazing. It is beautiful. They were efficient. They were trustworthy. The recommendations were unquestionable. And they were going to do exactly what I wanted. I had a lovely experience.
Start your remodel today by visiting 3daykitchen.com.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they are solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
Transforming airwaves into an engaging playground of ideas and entertainment. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Run into the living room, get my stogie.
Well, a strange story from the St. Louis Police Department recently, which showed an officer on a now viral video lighting a cigar and smoking a cigar while he is straddling a man in the process of arresting him
Yeah.
outside an establishment in St. Louis. So, yes, you heard that right. There's a St. Louis police officer in the process of arresting a man. So the man's on the ground. The officer seems to have one leg on the ground, one leg or knee on the man. And the man's lying there, and the officer has a cigar, which he then lights and smokes the cigar. And I believe at one point, the man who was apprehended said he has a light. So I'm not sure what in the world was going on.
The audio's a little difficult to hear, so I guess that's why.
I got a lighter, bro.
Yeah.
Pull your light out. No, don't pull it out. Everybody think you gotta go.
Okay.
This
so
was in a downtown West neighborhood, by the way.
You can't hear the guy on the ground, but you can hear the person recording the interaction, telling him to pull out the lighter because he has one. That's a. It looks funny. I don't know that it's a good idea to be smoking a cigar while you're arresting somebody.
I feel like it's a bad idea.
St. Louis police are doing an internal investigation. I'd be very curious to see what the outcome of it is. But it makes me think I have, and I told you about this earlier, I have friends who are Chicago police, and they are positioned outside a group of bars, a neighborhood of bars on Rush Street. And they park their squad car right in front of this one particular bar, and they sit on the hood while all the people are going in and out of bars, and they just smoke stogies. That's what they do. And occasionally something will happen, and they have to go over and take care of it, but they're smoking cigars in the middle of it. So I'm not entirely surprised to see this. I am surprised to see a cop doing it while in the act of arresting somebody.
Yes. So the man was arrested for trespassing. This was last weekend, as I mentioned, in the downtown West neighborhood outside the Marquee Restaurant and Lounge.
Yep.
They're arresting this man. No one was injured, and I believe the man has since been let go. But yeah, the police officer is really nonchalantly kind of holding him on the ground and smoking a cigar. I have no explanation for it. What's really interesting, the Post-Dispatch had an interesting observation in their story. They say, cigar smoking cops aren't new. Homicide investigators have been known to show up at homicide scenes chomping on a cigar and wearing an old school fedora.
Well, so that
Such
happened
a specific image.
last weekend. Remember we talked about this? There was the photo of the shooting that happened at the Metrolink station.
The teen involved shooting, yep.
By the History Museum, and all of the cops who are on site are wearing blazers and old-timey fedoras.
But
did we get to the bottom of what that was?
No, and I did ask several reporters, hey, do you often see the cops dressed in old-timey outfits like this? And they said no. It looked like they came from the Kentucky Derby, is what it looked
did,
like.
But it was the following weekend.
So was there an event that they all came from? Because I understand maybe one cop in an old-timey fedora, but the fact that all the cops were in an old-timey fedora, and then this viral video of this cop smoking a cigar while in the process of arresting this man, the fact that the Post-Dispatch is like, well, sometimes cops show up with cigars and old-timey fedoras. I'm like, in the movies? What movie did you watch?
That's what a texter says. He was doing a Dirty Harry impression. Way before my time, but I get the reference. Well, that's really fun stuff. We'll see what the police internal investigation turns up. I'm very curious. It was something else. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Hour 3 next on KMOX.
Whatever electrical needs you have, repair, service, replacement, call on Reinhold Electric. A live person will answer the phone call and they'll set you up with an electrician. If you need an estimate, absolutely free from Reinhold Electric, you will actually talk to a live estimator. No job is too big or too small for Reinhold Electric. Reinhold Electric, for all your electrical needs in residential, commercial, and industrial, call 314-631-1158. That's 314-631-1158. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
I'm John Morgan. When people stop me to ask, what's my case worth? Here's what I tell them. All law firms are not the same. at all. You see, the most important part of anyone's injury case is the firm you hire. The insurance company knows exactly which firms fight for full value and which firms will settle your case for pennies on the dollar. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. $3 billion last year alone. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at californiapsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
If you're thinking about selling your home, I'm sure there are two things that you want: certainty and the most money, right? This is Debbie Monterey, and if you've been listening to me for some time, you know that the agent I trust is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis's real estate expert. Here's why she should be your first call when looking for an agent. Gloria does not make empty promises. She provides written guarantees. What does that mean for you? Certainty. Certainty isn't the only thing you want. You also want the most money. Gloria is able to get her home sellers more money than the average agent because she already has the buyers. This is why Gloria will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she will buy it. To get your guaranteed price, call St. Louis's real estate expert, Gloria Liu, at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, we've got clouds and 67 degrees downtown at the Arch. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Our top story this hour: fewer Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week as layoffs stay at historically low levels, despite signs that the labor market is cooling. Bankrate economic analyst Mark Hamrick.
New claims for unemployment benefits fell last week, reversing nearly half of the previous week's surge, which had gone to the highest level since August. The Labor Department reports 222,000 new claims, down 10,000 from the previous week. A good part of this reflects a decline of more than 9,000 claims in the state of New York.
Billowing black smoke sent fire crews to the Anheuser-Busch aluminum can manufacturing plant in Arnold early this morning. Allison Rotter with Rock Community Fire Protection District.
Crews from Rock Community Fire Protection District were dispatched to a commercial fire at the Anheuser-Busch can plant off Tinbrook. Upon arrival, crews found black smoke coming from the roof. Command did eventually strike a third alarm, bringing in several mutual aid agencies.
A metal oven is being blamed for the smoke. Damage to the building was minimal. Nobody was hurt. Leaders in St. Charles are meeting today to get a preview of possible closures of library branches.
County Executive Steve Ellman tells KMOX he's meeting with City Mayor Dan Borgmeyer this afternoon to hear more about the special meeting planned for Friday, where the St. Charles City County Library System will discuss a future strategic direction. In a release from the library, the board says they may vote on actions that include closures of specific branches, which means some people may lose their jobs. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
CBS News confirms that the Biden campaign has accepted the broadcaster's offer to host a vice presidential debate. CBS News has extended the same offer to the Trump campaign. A Palestinian converted to Judaism. An Israeli soldier saw him as a threat and opened fire.
At first, it seemed like the kind of shooting that is all too common in the West Bank. A Palestinian aroused suspicions and an Israeli soldier killed him. But the person killed was identified as David Ben Avraham, a Palestinian man who made the unheard of decision to convert from Islam to Judaism. An outcast to both the Palestinians and most Israelis, Ben Avraham was seen in an online video being questioned by an Israeli soldier moments before his death. Footage from a nearby security camera appeared to show two soldiers shooting Ben Avraham from a close distance as he keeled over backwards onto the sidewalk. The Israeli army said it's investigating the shooting, but rights groups say soldiers are rarely held accountable in such situations. I'm Karen Shamas.
The KMOX Business Desk getting delivery this lunch hour.
GoPuff is cutting 6% of its workforce. The Philadelphia-based rapid delivery startup, whose formal name is GoBrands, says the decision will help it achieve a goal of becoming free cash flow positive and profitable by the end of the year. GoPuff has fewer than 10,000 employees. The job cuts are expected to affect a few hundred people. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
Dow from Stifel's up 74 points to 39,982. We've got roadwork on 370 going east at 270 west, and the left lane is closed there. Also 370 east at 141. The right lane is closed there, and they have cleared that crash on 44 west at Lewis Road.
Mostly cloudy this afternoon. Look for a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly early, the high 72. Rather cloudy tonight with a heavy thunderstorm in the area early and a shower in spots late, low 62. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. We've got clouds now, 67 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Your passport into a world of wit and wisdom and a splash of humor. Chris and Amy on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Let's run it back.
For a limited time, go back in time
with Chris and Amy.
A texter to the text line, 314-436-7900, says, just tuned into the YouTube stream. Have never seen Ranji without a hat. Were you in court this morning?
That is an astute observation from a loyal listener.
No, I was not in court. And no, I usually wear a hat. You know why, Amy?
Because he doesn't have 6 minutes to dry his hair with a hairdryer, which he has to do. Otherwise, it looks frumpy.
That's right. I use a hairdryer. So what?
Do you use product?
I'm a man. Yeah.
Do you use the product so it doesn't look flat?
Because it won't do what I want it to do unless I have product.
Is that what you wanted to do? What it's doing right now?
No. But also,
it's humid outside.
I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
Right now. But no,
he's got a meeting.
Got a meeting
with a lady.
There will be ladies there. Some of them I like more than others.
He's looking at me, folks. We've got
because you're
meeting.
One of them.
I am one of the ladies that will be there. And so because he's a professional, he is dressed professionally for this meeting.
Well, not
so that
really.
he can mislead the people with whom we're meeting.
That's correct.
That's right.
On the show today, we have covered a number of topics as we always do. We had a conversation with our guy, Major Garrett, who is a chief Washington correspondent for CBS News. And he was talking about the presidential debates. Two of them have been scheduled and agreed upon. One in June on the 27th, and then one again in September. Here are Major's thoughts on what's going to happen.
I would circle these dates on your calendar in pencil, not in ink. I am still uncertain that these are going to happen. Just because volatility, I think, is going to be the function of this campaign. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be unpredictable and herky-jerky and stop and start, and this is certainly unconventional.
So
my favorite part of that is herky-jerky. We don't say herky-jerky enough.
I'm surprised you don't.
Yes.
But I didn't even consider that. I don't know what it was, Amy. Maybe this is just a naivete on my part, but I just kind of assumed that once they agreed upon the dates, that was the end of
Never
that.
once crossed my mind. Because
Me
they
neither.
have the date, the time, the channel, CNN, for the first one, and the moderators. Like, it felt set in stone. I used a pen. I used ink. It never occurred to me that this wouldn't happen. And now I mean, I want it to happen, I think. I don't know what I want. Honestly, none of this is good.
Right.
It's not going to be fun. I think it will be more depressing, but I mean, they are the two presidential candidates. I don't know. I was surprised that Major said that, honestly, because it did not occur to me yesterday.
Now, it does not mean that that's what's going to happen,
No,
that anybody's
of course
going to
not.
back out. He's just saying that he's not so certain they'll both take place. He thought that the first one more likely than the second one. Now, in thinking about it after he said it, I could see a situation in which we already know the Trump campaign wants there to be 4 debates, and he wants them to happen in front of crowds.
That's insane, though.
Because he just wants he loves being in front of a crowd so that he can get feedback. He thrives off of it. So he needs to have the crowd cheer for him. That's his personality. So I could envision now, I guess, a situation in which he agrees to the first one, he does the first one, and says, we're not doing the second one unless it's in front of a crowd. And if it's not, then I'm not doing it. I guess that could happen, but I can't see, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. I just can't see the Biden campaign backing out of something they initiated and agreed upon. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see.
Right. And I mean, it could be Trump backing out because he wants the audience. Right. So I don't know, but so far I have it written down in my calendar still.
But also let me say this, as I did yesterday, I don't think we need 2 debates. Why? No. What more could we possibly learn from these 2 candidates that we can't get in one debate?
Well, and like I said, I do not think it's going to move the needle. I don't think it's going to affect people's decisions at the polls, although there are surprisingly some people who, because they are so disillusioned by or unenchanted with both characters, both candidates, that maybe something will sway them. Maybe they are persuadable. I tend to think that the persuadable voters, that some of them might also just not vote because they're not motivated by anybody. I'm afraid I'm just going to feel depressed. I started thinking about the election a couple of days ago more than usual in specific terms. Right now, it's this aura out there. Oh, it's the election year. We're talking about the election, but it's a hard and fast date. We know it's November 5th. It's going to happen. We're going to have a decision. And it's actually my sister-in-law's birthday. And she is celebrating her birthday a month early this year on October 5th because she said, I want nothing to do with that. Let's just celebrate it early so that none of us we're not all stressed out. And it made me realize, oh my gosh, this is actually going to happen. And I think the debate will be another one of those moments of, my goodness, here we are, and here's where we're at.
This is where I differ from you, and this is just my political viewpoint, which not everybody cares about, but I don't see it as no matter what happens, we're screwed. I just don't see the election that way. And I know a lot of people feel that way. I don't. I just don't. I don't think it's that bad of a situation. It's certainly not ideal. I would certainly prefer a better candidate on both ends. But I don't think it's one of those things that no matter what, we're in trouble. I think that's nihilism. I just don't think it's that.
I would say for concerned Republicans, the ideal would be Republicans win the House and Senate. I know that's a huge, huge ask, but that would be ideal if you think, well, it's the end of the world if Biden wins. Not if Republicans can win the House and Senate. Then you're going to hamstring.
I don't think it's the end of the world if they have one of the other bodies too.
No, it's not. But I mean, there are obviously some big pressing issues. A second term is always going to look different, and there are concerning things. However, as Major pointed out, the volatility of one specific candidate and the disregard for constitutional processes concerns me immensely.
Yeah, but maybe not with the candidate that you were thinking.
I'm thinking of Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so maybe we are thinking of the same guy.
Yeah, that's it. With Joe Biden, I am worried about policy. Yes, there are certain things that make my blood boil.
A philosophical difference in policy with him.
Yeah, both domestic and foreign policy. I have huge issues. I haven't forgotten Afghanistan. There are a lot of the disastrous withdrawal. There are a lot of domestic policies that would fall under the quote unquote culture wars that really, really bother me and make my blood boil. However, if Biden were to win, we'll have another election in 4 years. I can tell you that. That's reassuring. And if Biden wins and the Republicans win the House and the Senate, we're going to be okay. With Donald Trump, the amount of damage he does to the pillars of our democracy and constitutional processes, that's what concerns me.
Mitch Holthus is the Kansas City Chiefs play-by-play voice. You can hear Kansas City Chiefs games during the regular season here on KMOX, including September 5th, a Thursday night game. That's how the NFL season opens. They'll take on the Ravens. Do you know what else, Amy, Mitch Holthus is?
Kansan of the Year.
Yeah, if I was in Iowa, I don't think I'd stand a chance. I think Caitlin Clark could beat me by 40. And I love the state of Missouri, but you go with what you got. It's the old Sesame Street skit. One of these things doesn't belong. When you look at General Eisenhower and General Myers and Amelia Earhart, you're like, Mitch Holthus? How did he sneak in there? Must have been a down year. But no, I'm blessed and humbled and honored. Thanks for saying it. And we're getting ready to try to make history here in the Chiefs Kingdom.
Well, they probably will because they're good and it makes me sick. July 9th is going to be the formal ceremony in Washington, D.C. Mitch Holthus is great. He is such a good football announcer. And if you're a Chiefs fan, you are very, very lucky that he is your guy. So
absolutely
good for him. We talked about the cop smoking a stogie.
That was interesting. I still don't know what to think about that. Again, it was in the downtown West neighborhood outside of the Marquee Restaurant and Lounge. A man was arrested or in the process of being arrested for trespassing when the cop started smoking a cigar. And I believe the guy being arrested said something about having a light.
Yeah, he's got a lighter.
Yeah.
And then his friend who was recording or next to the person recording said, hey, give him your lighter. And then said, no, wait, don't, because they'll think you're reaching for a gun. So don't do that. The police, by the way, are conducting an internal investigation. I will be very curious to see what the outcome of that is. We talked to Matt Pauley, who is our guy, the sports hunk.
That's right.
Yeah, he was called a hunk, a Cardinals hunk, by a listener to the text line 314-436-7900. About the Cardinals situation. Look, I think Matt is pretty even keeled about how he views the current Cardinals team. I think he knows what's going on, wants them to be better, knows what their deficiencies are. Well, they come back home. They'll play a series of a long 9-game homestand. The Boston Red Sox are in town on Friday. That'll be fun to go to if you've got tickets for it.
I like to see the Boston Red Sox. This is not an option this weekend, but I have never been to a baseball game at Fenway. I would like to see the Cardinals play Boston at Fenway.
Fenway's a really nice ballpark. It's old.
History.
Yeah, I liked it. The seats are kind of small because it was made for smaller people in a smaller time. But it's a nice park. It's very, very charming while also more modern. They've revamped it quite a bit.
And it's got the green monster.
Yar, it does. It does have a monster in it. We talked about the 50-hour Missouri filibuster.
Oh.
The I think you should leave filibuster.
I think you should leave.
Yeah, the one that I always remember is the one where he does the pay it forward in the drive-through line. Have you seen that one? And then kind of, I've not seen a lot of them, but I have seen those ones. And it's the one where, for those that are listening, he basically is in a drive-through line and somebody does the pay it forward thing and they pay for his, coffee or whatever. And then what he does is he immediately tries to get back in line behind somebody. Now that he knows the pay it forward thing is happening, he cuts another woman off and he just orders, was it 55 tacos, 47 burritos, like this gigantic order.
Hi, can I take your order?
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 Coke, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 clubs.
So that's what he was referencing. I'm back and forth on the filibuster. I realize, it might be an important tool. Yes, I also think it gets abused. And I think it's weird, some of the subject matter that comes up. But the whole point is to literally waste time on the floor so a vote can't happen. And that's what the Democrats did in the Missouri Senate.
The historic filibuster by the Senate Democrats. I could never be a legislator, Republican or Democrat, for whatever cause, mainly because I like to go home. You know, like
Yeah.
I need to go home.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I can't sit here and then even if I like that show, I don't want to hear him describe it. Like I just want to go home. And that's why I could never be a legislator.
Bill Eigel was reading from Ronald Reagan's book when he was filibustering last year.
Dr. Seuss has been used, Harry Potter.
John Rizzo from the Missouri Senate was talking about I Think You Should Leave, which is a great comedy show. You should watch it. It's on Netflix. It's a sketch show. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Again, anything you missed on the show today will be on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Any of the interviews, the segments, full show, whatever you want to listen to is all there. And you can listen live. Listen to the show live on the Odyssey app. And what else, Amy? What's on the Odyssey app for free that you can listen to?
Cardinal games.
Cardinals baseball, but you got to be in the listening area. That's MLB rules. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
The Cardinals host the Boston Red Sox Friday, May 17th, and that night, 25,000 fans age 16 and older take home a mystery rope hat presented by Bear. These stadium-exclusive hat designs feature the Cardinals logos from various memorable eras and are sure to be the must-have item for your 2024 summer wardrobe. That's Friday, May 17th. The Cardinals, the Red Sox, and the mystery rope hat. For tickets or more details, go to cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Steven Matz, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Michaelis brings it home. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Budweiser's First Beer Fridays returns to Busch Stadium, and tickets start at just $15. Choose from Friday night matchups in May, including the Red Sox and Cubs, and enjoy your first beer on the house. Your First Beer Friday ticket will be loaded with cards cash that can be used to purchase a Budweiser, Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, or any beverage of choice. For full details or to purchase tickets, visit cardinals.com/Friday.
This is Miles Michaelis. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews for Beast Plumbing. You know, they don't want anybody to go without hot water. So if you call Beast Plumbing, they will get you a water heater installed the same day. That's how quickly they work. They want to be your new plumber. 314-500-LEAK. Tell them Bo sent you to Beast Plumbing.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Well, there's a very good chance as you've driven down your street, you have admired houses in your neighborhood that have been covered in Rhino Shield, and you don't even know it. Except if you pay close attention, you'll notice that they're not being repainted every couple of years. What I mean is same bright, vivid colors that you would choose with regular paint, except that Rhino Shield lasts, and you're going to get a 25-year warranty with it. I've got it on my house, and I mean it. It looks like it did the day they put it on. It lasts and lasts. It's lab tested to last that long against chipping or peeling or cracking. And they put this on businesses as well. Condo units from Springfield, Illinois, all the way down to the Lake of the Ozarks. You can find it. And my friend Darren will be happy to come over and give you a free evaluation of your home. All you have to do is call him. Tell him you heard Mark Cox talking about it. 877-25-RHINO or online at 877-25rhino.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Save big this Memorial Day at Lowe's. Right now, save on 1.5-gallon annual hanging baskets. Get 2 for just $20. Plus, buy one, get one 50% off. Select interior and exterior paint and exterior stain via Lowe's gift card rebate. Shop these deals before they're gone because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 5/29. Hanging baskets in-store only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Paint. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. While supplies last.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Discussing what matters to you, your family, your money, your health. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Lay.
Kane is in the building. So Chris and Amy show on KMOX. Amy, we've talked about this woman before, Valentina Gomez, who is trying to be the Secretary of State in the state of Missouri. She is a Republican candidate, and she posts a lot of videos on Twitter, on social media, and a lot of them are, I don't know, man. It's gotten cliche at this point. It's just she's posing with really huge guns, and she's saying outlandish things because it appears to me she's trying very hard to gain attention and get a little bit of attraction, and we're giving some of it to her right now. But her most recent post, or one of her most recent posts, she's running down the street, like jogging down the street, and she's wearing, for some reason, a tactical bulletproof vest.
Is it a tactical vest or a weight vest? Like
I think it's a tactical vest.
Okay, because when I first saw it,
it looks like something that a person with an assault weapon would wear.
Yeah, either that or a weighted vest. They
look like that?
I thought I don't run with a weighted vest.
It's got the American flag patch on the chest.
Okay, so a tactical vest.
She's wearing a tactical vest. Yeah, for some reason. I don't even know why. But this is, it's really difficult to hear because there's music playing in the background. This is part of what she said.
In America, you can be anything you want. Don't do anything gay.
Okay, so what she said was, in America, you can be anything you want, so don't be weak and gay.
Oh my God.
The hell does that even mean? You absolute weirdo. What does that mean? I almost said the bad word.
You almost dropped it.
If I saw her in person, I'd say, what is wrong with you, you blanking weirdo? Like, so to me, it seems like this is some sort of put on. The
language and the way it looks, and like, in America, you can be anything you want. Don't be weak and gay. It's like a Saturday Night Live skit of a MAGA person.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yes.
So you think, okay, she's a very like traditionally like attractive person.
She's attractive.
You would say she's attractive. And so is she leaning into it saying, I can get these MAGA fans to like me because I'm an attractive young woman.
And Hispanic. I think that plays in her favor and she knows it.
Okay. And then also is going to use all the tropes, or
yes.
So that not as a joke.
But I think this
is a pretty elaborate joke.
I think she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
I think she knows what she's doing. She's going this ultra MAGA, and by virtue of being Latin American descent, it's almost like an excuse. See, MAGA people are not bigots because I am Latin American, and therefore, and I love MAGA, so they can't possibly be racist against us. See. And I think she knows she will gain attention and probably support in that way. I hope she loses badly when it's time for the election. She's running for Secretary of State, but I do imagine a lot of people will take her seriously. And that's probably the main thing. Watching her videos, and just you go look for yourself. It just seems deeply unserious. Everything she does.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a Secretary of State ad like that before.
I don't. Isn't that what John ran for, or was it Lieutenant Governor?
John Hancock?
Yeah.
Only person in Missouri history to run for and lose the race for Secretary of State
So
twice.
that's maybe he should have made a video like
See?
this.
What if we have John Hancock should do one now? He's running down the street
In a tactical
in a
vest.
tactical vest.
This woman should not be taken seriously.
Unbelievable.
It really is unbelievable.
Yeah. I will say this. Maybe you like her. Maybe that's your thing. That the very don't be weak, weird, macho thing. But here's the thing. It feels like a Saturday Night Live skit.
It really does.
It's so on the nose of what you would do if you were making fun of that person.
Yeah.
It feels like a parody of itself.
And by the way, Lupe Fiasco, the song that she's using there, is from Lupe Fiasco, and he knows about it and tweeted, "We're aware of it," and acting to get it removed. Also, he's performing at Celebrate St. Louis. You can see Lupe Fiasco coming up. Chris and Amy on KMOX.
All right. Common signs that it might be time to replace your wood or vinyl windows. That would be the rooms are drafty. You're feeling it hot when it's in the summer. It's a little too cold in the winter. We've all been there. You're seeing fog between the glass or difficulty opening and closing your windows. Yeah, that's a huge pain. And of course, leaks, which are never good. Now, I need to tell you about Renewal by Andersen because they are the full window replacement specialists. And here's the thing with Renewal by Andersen, they can do most window and door installs in 1 or 2 days. That is a small price to pay for decades of comfort because Renewal by Andersen certified master installers only install windows and doors. They're not doing siding and roofs or anything like that. They're not jack of all trades contractors. They are window and door experts, and their certified master installers have years of experience installing thousands of windows and doors. That's what they do. Now, right now, the month of May, you can save $279 on every window, $729 on every patio door with 0 payments and 0 interest for 18 months. Call Renewal by Andersen. They are not the cheapest windows. They're the most affordable because you get them replaced and you never have to worry about it again. 314-720-9200, 314-720-9200.
At ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
At 12:30, some drizzle and 68 degrees downtown at the Arch. Israel's military push into Rafah has crippled 8 operations in southern Gaza. Cindy McCain, head of the World Food Program, says a new U.S. pier anchored to a beach in Gaza could provide some relief.
We welcome any way to get food in, whether it be air, by a new pier. The best for us to get in at scale, though, is by road.
McCain says 500 relief trucks a day are needed to provide adequate aid to the Palestinians. Only a handful of trucks have passed through southern Gaza since Israel's limited offensive in Rafah began. The Dow Jones Industrial Average hit a milestone today, crossing the 40,000 mark. Stock market analyst Gene Peroni thinks the market could cross the 42,000 line by year's end.
While we have hit this important milestone, I don't think it's the end point. In fact, I think we're going to see this market continue to move higher.
The Dow now is at 39,949. What's in your shopping cart? A new survey by Ipsos shows more Americans are picking store brands off the shelf than well-known brands. 33% say they mostly buy generics, 24% stick with the name brands, and 41% say they go half and half based on the product itself. 3 in 5 Americans, 61% say they've shopped in person at a big box store in the past week.
The Cardinals' winning streak comes to an end as they lose to the Angels last night by a 7-2 score in Anaheim. They still take 2 of 3 in the series. Lance Lynn makes the start, goes 5 innings, allowing 4 runs on 8 hits. All 4 of those runs came in the first inning before he settled in after that. Paul Goldschmidt did hit a home run, his 4th of the year. Today is an off day for the Cardinals. Tomorrow they open up a home series against the Red Sox. Kyle Gibson will make the start, 7:15 first pitch. Our coverage will begin at 6:20. The Redbird Report is sponsored by Aloha Pools USA. Win big with a pool or spa at alohapoolsusa.com. Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
And some good news as much of the rain, heavy rain, is moved out of the area. Roads are looking a lot better. Just some road work on 6440 westbound at Boone's Crossing. The right lane is closed. And road work on 55 south on the ramp from 30. The right lane there is closed. Cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm this afternoon. High 72 for tonight. Heavy thunderstorm this evening and a passing shower late. Overnight low 62. For tomorrow, clouds, breaks of sun, shower in spots in the morning. A stray afternoon thunderstorm and a high of 76. Right now, we do have some drizzle downtown at the Arch, and we've got 68 degrees. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Broadcasting from the Underlaw Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Stop for a moment and think about this. Do you know how much money in your 401k or IRA is actually yours? Or will the government take a bigger chunk than you thought? Remember, you still might owe taxes on that money. But do you have a plan to help make sure you don't pay more than you should? At Fira Capital Management, formerly Heisey Advisory Group, we believe you deserve to keep more of what you've earned, which is why we're here to help you navigate the confusing world of retirement taxes. It's your money. You deserve to know what's at stake. Right now, taxes are historically low, but they won't be this low forever. So call Fira Capital Management today so you don't miss out on this opportunity. 314-328-4400. That's 314-328-4400. You work hard for your money, and we'll work just as hard to help you keep it. Fira Capital Management, 314-328-4400. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Firm may not give tax advice.
This is Christina Straight with Straight Realty reminding you why pay more than 4. In 2003, we had a dream to start a real estate company that would revolutionize the real estate market. Now, 20 years later, after navigating through the many market's ups and downs, we know exactly how to help you in this challenging time. I'm Christina Straight, owner Straight Realty. Don't give away your hard-earned equity. Give us a call today, 314-441-4444, 314-441-all-4s. And remember, why pay more than 4?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
To the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the house.
Faroe Field, home sweet home for Tiger Nation on 7 Saturdays each fall. The traditions and tailgating run deep. The victories roar louder, and you can't get energy like this sitting on your couch. So don't wait. Get up and get in the game. Lock in your seats today because every seat is front row to greatness. Call 1-800-CAT-PAWS or visit mutigers.com/tickets. MIZ.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
Call today, 314-347-0410 and get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
Dive into all things Cardinals on Cardinals Conversations, your go-to location for exclusive content from KMOX. Catch it on the Odyssey app or your favorite podcast platform. Stay connected with your team. Cardinals Conversations, where the Redbird talk never stops.
For the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now about to cross this stage and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world.
Did they time that baby cry perfectly?
I don't know.
Sounds like a child has been
That
brought into
kid-
the world.
That kid really did. Like right on cue.
I've heard this twice now, and I didn't notice the baby cry
That
until
was,
it was right on cue.
That's really
All right.
something else. Okay,
People
so
wondering what is that? That
Yes.
is Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker
Mhm.
delivering a graduation speech at Benedictine College in Atchison, Kansas. So a private Catholic university. He's outspoken about his Catholic faith, and that was part of a longer graduation speech that has, let's say, stirred up some controversy, some
Yeah,
good old controversy.
because it seemed like he knew what he was doing and he knew who he was appealing to and went in there purposefully and said, "This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to talk about all this stuff," which it was not a great speech. So the entire purpose of it was, and the very first clip of it that I saw posted to
Mhm.
social media was him essentially saying that men should be men, like an alpha male sort of thing. Like
Okay.
it's okay to be masculine, which no one says it's not okay to be masculine. That is totally okay. But he was saying it as if there's this idea that you can't be and that people are telling you that you can't be. And that's not really true. But his entire beyond that, I thought it was insulting. I'm not a woman, but I thought it was insulting because he's speaking to a crowd of
Men
both
and
men and
women,
women
yeah.
who are all receiving degrees
For careers.
for careers
presumably.
that they are going into. And he's basically telling women that that's not the thing you should be doing. Yes, you can go have a career, but there's something much better for you.
I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
Good for him and her if that's what she wants to do. But the entire premise of his speech is that women are better off being at home and raising the kid while men are out making money, which if you believe that, fine. If the wife in the situation believes that too, great. That's what she wants. But to tell women that they shouldn't have careers because there's something far more rewarding for you out there, and you've been lied to this entire time that you should have a career, absolute nonsense on his part to say that.
A couple of thoughts on this. First, I know the NFL issued a statement and said he was speaking in his own personal capacity. Sure. And I'll say this.
And that his values do not,
Yeah,
the
don't
NFL
reflect-
does not.
The
yeah.
NFL doesn't encourage
Which-
women to stay home. The NFL likes to sexualize, abuse, maybe rape, whatever. That's fine. So that's why, and when it comes to the NFL and women, Harrison Butker, not their biggest problem. Maybe some of
No, but it's beside the point.
That's right. But that's what I do want to say, because I know people will have the pushback of, well, he's just saying what he thinks at a Catholic university, which I get. But, and as someone who comes from, I have pretty traditional views, there was something really off-putting and just icky about it because, like you said, Ron, if you want to make that decision, like his wife did, to stay home and have kids and be a stay-at-home mom, and that's awesome. And it's awesome that they're able to work together as a family. But first, he kept saying, he singled out the female graduates. Again, this is a graduation where you're getting a degree, presumably for a career, right? So all of these women who have worked very hard for these degrees to have a career doesn't mean they won't also be moms, but he's kind of trivializing whatever they may accomplish and say it will be nothing compared to staying home and having kids. Okay, first thought, I would hope for men too. Maybe you're more proud of your kids than you are of your career. That's not a female thing. That's a parent thing.
It's everybody.
If you're a mom or a dad, you are going to say, I'm so proud of my kids. Okay. So you don't have to single out the women. Second of all, what I didn't like was the whole, she leaned into her vocation and she accomplished things too. And you may, and she got a degree too. And you may, but then she decided to lean into her vocation. But the way it was posited is like, this is a woman's place.
Right.
And she accepted a woman's place and she's happier. And all of you women, you can go do your thing. But until you accept a woman's place, you won't be happy. And that was the icky feeling I got. And I'm someone who wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, that, what I wanted. I'm not putting down being a stay-at-home mom. That's just not where life brought me. I thought I would have 5 kids and be homeschooling them by now. And so, yeah, I think that's a great thing. But to say that that is a woman's place really felt super icky to me. And that's, it's a weird, he spoke with like an absolute
certainty.
authority.
Yeah.
Yes. And that weirded me out. Like, I felt icky watching that. Like, he was like kind of that gross, and not like down with the patriarchy, not like that, but just the gross patriarchal, like all men are somehow, we're a little bit more superior to all women. It felt like that.
Well, and I think when people lash out against the quote unquote patriarchy, this is the kind of stuff they're talking about.
Yeah.
This is exactly it. So, and it's a manifestation of it. And it makes me wonder. I can't speak for him. I cannot speak for his wife. Maybe she truly does enjoy what she's doing, and she has an advanced degree, does she not? But by all accounts, is an intelligent person herself. How do I know that she doesn't really deep down want to be doing that, as opposed to just being at home and being a homemaker?
Well, I mean,
maybe
I don't
she wants
know.
more, and I don't know. Maybe she does. Maybe she loves it. But maybe there's a part of her that feels pressured to live life the way they're living because of how he is. Maybe not. Maybe she loves it. But it makes me question it. It makes me question whether or not she's really truly happy with what she's doing, or if she would be happier actually having a career. Maybe she wouldn't.
But see, yeah, and it's interesting because I don't really take it so much to question her. I assume she's fine where she is. I don't question her. It was mainly
I'm questioning him.
Whether
or not she feels pressure from him.
Oh, yeah. See, I guess I didn't take it that way.
Maybe.
I took it more of like the broad brushstroke of the not so subtle implication or assertion that it's a woman's place to be in the home, and you can try to be happy with your degree and your career, but you should really just accept what I know. And what I know is a woman's place is in the home. And that's what rubbed me the wrong way. Because women have different callings. And yes, there's something so special about motherhood, and it's different than fatherhood. And women bearing children is different than men not bearing children. However, it doesn't mean that with all of that every single woman will be a stay-at-home mom and can't be happy otherwise. It means we have options now. We can be a stay-at-home mom, or we can go pursue awesome careers, or we can do both. Like, the fact that it was kind of this icky stay in your place and also you won't be happy felt very odd. And I think that the arena was odd because it was women who just got degrees and said, like, good try, but maybe just stay home if you want to be happy.
And maybe it played well in the room. I don't know. But I think that it certainly didn't play well outside of it. But he probably thought that it was going to be, oh, this is great. This is a probably very conservative Christian university, and they're going to love this. So I don't know. I guess he felt emboldened to do it. The LA Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday was the schedule release for all the NFL teams, and they make a big production out of releasing the upcoming schedule. And each team does a video releasing the schedule, and a lot of them are very funny. They're all entertaining. Clearly, they work hard on them. The Chargers did a Sims parody, the video game The Sims. And when they were releasing the schedule and they mentioned the games that they were playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, their Sim character was Harrison Butker putting something in the oven and doing housework, which is hysterical. Great trolling on the part of the Chargers. That just I thought he was embarrassing with what he said and the way he went about it and the absolute arrogance of it and the certainty that I'm right. And it wasn't the only thing. He was talking about his objection. And I know a lot of people don't like Pride Month, Pride Month doesn't hurt you. He did not like Pride Month and some other things as well. I thought it was an embarrassing day for him. And I'm sure the Chiefs wish as an organization he did not do that.
Yeah. And here's the thing again. It rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm a more conservative Christian, and I just thought, yikes, this feels super icky. But the Chiefs will be fine, and the NFL will be fine, and like Deshaun Watson, that's a much bigger issue when it comes to women, right? And the NFL has a gross history when it comes to protecting players who actually like abusing women, disrespecting women, sexualizing, harassing, whatever it may be. So the NFL will be fine. This is just and the Chiefs will be fine. But this is a conversation because of the nature of the speech. But at the very least, it was given at a private religious institution.
One text message says, just a further example of why kickers should not be allowed to speak. Go Chiefs. And this one says he got a standing ovation for his talk. He was giving motherhood the reverence it deserved. Wasn't it on Mother's Day? It was the day before Mother's Day. And it wasn't about giving it reverence. He was telling the women that that's really what they should be doing.
Yeah, and that's what's so interesting.
That's a difference than saying mothers are great.
Yeah, he could have praised his wife and praised being a stay-at-home mom because like I said, that's what a lot of women do want to do. And there are some lies being told for sure where it almost putting women down if they want to stay at home, because I experienced that. I would say, well, what I want to do is stay home and homeschool my kids. And like, oh, well, why are you doing that? What a waste. It's not a waste.
That's what you want.
It's what I wanted. So you can revere women who decide to stay home, who have kids and don't stay home, or go to work without having that icky feeling of you belong barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. And it felt like that.
That's how it seemed.
And like I said, I'm not one who's super sensitive where I'm like, oh, I know he meant well. He gave me an icky feeling like he meant the barefoot and pregnant.
And also the obvious thing that he's completely missed, that not every family has the privilege of being able to have one of the parents stay home and raise the kid. Financially, economically, two parents have to work in a lot of households. They don't have the luxury of making a good salary as an NFL kicker, which allows the wife to stay home and raise the kids. Amy Marks-Kors, Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Whatever electrical needs you have, repair, service, replacement, call on Reinhold Electric. A live person will answer the phone call and they'll set you up with an electrician. If you need an estimate, absolutely free from Reinhold Electric, you will actually talk to a live estimator. No job is too big or too small for Reinhold Electric. Reinhold Electric, for all your electrical needs in residential, commercial, and industrial, call 314-631-1158. That's 314-631-1158. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
Odyssey's I'm Listening is our commitment to more mental health conversations. Cowboys QB Dak Prescott wants everyone to talk about their mental health.
I think the more and more that we can continue to talk and allow people to understand that it's okay to ask for help, the more people get help, the more I think that we'll be able to provide with resources.
Talk saves lives. For more mental health conversations, visit imlistening.org.
Sponsored by Compass Health Network. Inspire hope. Promote wellness.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from thegelmanteam.com. If you need to sell your home to buy a new one, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator that you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gelman on your side, fighting for every last dollar. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
When love gets hairy, call in an expert. Don't miss an all-new production of Rossini's The Barber of Seville, running May 25th through June 30th at Opera Theater of St. Louis. When the barber Figaro meets young Count Almaviva, he's determined to help him win the heart of the beautiful Rosina. A whirlwind of mistaken identities and cunning disguises ensues in this family-friendly comedy. Tickets start at just $25. Learn more at experienceopera.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home, the brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years, Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO, easy to remember phone number, or go online today at 877-25rhino.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
You entrusted a nursing home with the care of a loved one, but they violated that trust. If your family member has been the victim of nursing home neglect, call Onder Law at 844-BED-SORE.
Making radio waves more interesting. The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Hey, Ranj.
What?
I've got good news. You know how we always talk about how divided our country is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, according to a new Yahoo News YouGov poll, 66% of Americans disapprove of Kristi Noem shooting her dog.
Oh.
Are you okay over there?
Okay.
Ow!
Okay. My question is, are we divided into halves or thirds? Because it seems like from that poll, we're divided into thirds because 2/3 don't like it. But that means 1/3 of the country, 33%, said, yep, sometimes you got to shoot the dog.
So it says 14% of Americans approve of Noem's decision. So were the 34% undecided? Were there some undecided? Only 14%. So 86% of Americans do not classify as approving, and 66% disapprove. It doesn't give. I'm trying to find the reason for the discrepancy.
Well, maybe some people just don't like dogs and would love to shoot dogs.
Well, imagine it was a cat. Would it be different?
Oh, God. That might be 50-50 then. Cats are awful.
Also, McDonald's has a new McFlurry flavor, and it is inspired by Grandma Core. Have you heard of that? Like the whole coastal grandmother. That's a really in trend right now for young people. So it's syrup, vanilla ice cream, and crunchy candy pieces, which people are saying that's kind of like Werther's Original, but it's the Grandma McFlurry. It begins May 21st. It's like grandma's favorite treat that she hid in her purse. That's what McDonald's said.
Which is funny because my great-grandmother had a little dish of Werther's Original.
See, that was
and
more
it would sit on the end table.
That was more of a papa thing for me. My papa had Werther's Original. He'd just walk up, behind you, and then he'd take a Werther's Original out and hold it next to you, and then that's how you knew he was there.
It's. I wonder what the thing is going to be for us that 40 years from now.
Nerd clusters. Have you had nerd clusters? They're so good.
For our grandparents, it's like anything with clove in it.
Yes.
You got any candy with clove?
I mean, circus peanuts and black licorice.
That's right.
I feel like that means, it's always surprising to find someone who didn't live through this depression who likes black licorice.
Black licorice is so bad. Oh my God. What will they come up with in 20 years? Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji. Anything you missed on our show is on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Have a terrific rest of your Thursday. The Dave Glover Show is next. We'll be back tomorrow on KMOX at 10 o'clock.
With other than the name calling in there,
you're a honk.
Lombardo Homes welcomes you to Saxony Ridge in Wentzville.